Hello, everyone on the interwebs. While Angela's getting her ish together, I'm just gonna speak on. I don't know, Angela. Should I do headlines while waiting on you, or you want to be in on the headlines?
Yeah, you're
Or
totally.
you're almost in? Are you in?
I'm on. Just put it in. Are you
You put it
almost
in?
in? Can you not tell that I'm in?
Is it in?
That's a problem.
You can't tell?
That's a.
Well, she's
You can't
almost
tell I'm
in. I'm gonna fire up the Instagram.
in. You can't tell I'm in. All right.
So
Let's
I just want to
see.
tell everyone while we're getting started here, Angela, prolific filmmaker, is about to join. She's good with the sword, very good with swords.
I'm sweaty.
Her palms are sweaty. Something about mom's spaghetti.
Mom's spaghetti.
I don't know, palms sweaty. Like,
Woo!
whoa, okay, I'm gonna hang up on this. We get an
I'm hanging up on you.
echo.
Hanging up
On the
on
drums tonight.
you.
Watch out, y'all. You know what that means.
I know.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, yes.
So, so one of the things we were going to talk about, or that I wanted to talk about, is
Sorry, I couldn't.
but that wasn't a joke. There's no joke yet. Wait for something funny. So one thing that I wanted to talk about was because I recommend to a ton of people to take betadine and Pepsin, and I had a phone call from someone that I coach, and they're like, "My esophagus hurts," and I'm like, "What the hell? What is that exactly? Describe that to me." And then they described it, and I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "You're not taking the betadine and Pepsin when you drink milk, are you?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah. I take it before every time I eat anything." And I'm like, "Jesus, Mary and Joseph, don't take the betadine and Pepsin when you're just drinking milk because your stomach acid is going to go crazy high. And milk is like a pre-digested food, right? You don't need any digestive. It's already in the raw milk. He was drinking raw milk too.
Yeah,
Maybe you
ramen.
could make a
Good.
case for it if you're drinking peasant milk.
The.
But any rate, I shouldn't say that.
Ooh.
Let's just say store-bought milk. I mean, that's everything's crazy expensive in the grocery store now. It's crazy. Need to get a side hustle just to eat these days.
For
Any,
real.
at any rate, but so don't take the betadine and Pepsin unless you're having an actual meal. Milk doesn't count for that. And then, and then he asked me. Yes, this was funny too. Okay, so first of all, anyone who's listening to this,
Chase and Will with Ryan is saying hello.
eat salt for the love of God. Eat salt when
Yes.
it's hot out. Eat salt when it's
Yeah.
cold out, but especially when it's hot out. Another person I was coaching just started consuming salt, and then they go, "My eyes are puffy. I
He
think
does
it's
look
the
like Jesus
salt.
today,
I
Jack.
think it's the salt." And I'm like, "Your eyes are puffy from this. Look at the sky. Do you see all the stripes, X's, and O's that are put in the sky? You're going to blame the salt for that?" I was like, "It's something you're breathing in, man. It's the summer. You know, you do the big six of each collarbone,
Oh yeah.
each main lymph node, under the arms and on the
Ooh.
shoulders, the groins, the
Oh, I like my.
groins,
I like it when Jesus touches my groins. Hey, listen, bro.
and
So listen.
and
I got.
hold on, I gotta get the fifth and sixth in. Slow your roll. Number five, number five is back of the knees, and then the abdomen in every which way. Okay.
We should do it all.
Well, you got the zoom out, so do the bet bet, and then
I
I'm
gotta.
and I
Ooh. But hold on, I gotta address the fact that
okay.
today you always look like Jesus, but today you particularly look like Jesus, and we have a lot of comments like, "Wow, you look like Jesus."
Is it the white shirt?
It's
Maybe
the
it's the
white
white
shirt, and
shirt.
your hair is like nice and like you know oiled. You're coming off like
I
Jesus.
washed my hair today.
So y'all listen. This
I
is my friend Jesus.
like washed my hair and stuff.
Jesus saved my life. Jesus rides bikes in Nashville. He has musiccityebikes.com. It's
Ah,
amazing. I have a retreat there with him August, the first weekend of August.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Check it out. I love AngelaShelton.com/Nashville.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So I love so
I
we got
went
Elvis, we got Jesus,
I
we got
went
me, we got
I
you.
I went to Putt Shack recently
Pud
with my
Shack.
buddy. Putt Shack.
Oh, like putt putting?
Yeah,
That's cute.
with a
Did you
buddy of
putt
mine.
putt?
Yeah, with a buddy of mine and his two teenage boys. And so they were, being teenage boys, and they punched in Jesus as my name. So every time I came up to putt on the screen, it
It
said
said Jesus and
Jesus.
you look like that. That's really funny.
I was just like, oh, guys, all right, that's a
It's too
good
much
one.
pressure. Too much
That's a
pressure.
good
Did you
one.
get it in?
Oh, I got it in. Oh, I
Did you
got
get
it in.
it? Okay, y'all, listen. So not
I
only
even
does
got a hole in one.
I got the hole in one, he got the albatross.
A hole in one.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite Elvis gospel album?
My favorite gospel album that I'm listening to right now is Kanye West's. His gospel album's good, y'all.
P. Diddy? P. Diddy coming out with one?
No. P. Diddy is not coming out with
Okay,
a gospel album. No,
So y'all new here? You had
certainly not.
T-Dog. So listen, this is my friend Sean, who looks like Jesus, and he and I have these great
Okay.
conversations on phone, and we decided to make it live.
Yeah.
And we talk about health, and he's got
And truths. Many
Truth. It's Truth Thursday. And you make this
Yeah.
thing called Regenerate. It's at the bottom of my website if you want to look at it.
It's also on my website, the one in Nashville.
TheOneInNashville.com. And it is
Nashville.com.
The One in Nashville. Yo, that stuff that you made, the Regenerate stuff, I'm on it right now. I drank some earlier. It is amazing. I appreciate you.
It does a thing. It definitely works.
You clear people's minds, and you look like Jesus, and it's like awesome. And ever since I took that, the very first time I took it, I know I'd never bought another bottle of wine.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like crazy.
Yeah, it does work. It removes the need to need something.
I love Johnny Cash. Yeah, can you see the comments, by the way, from where you're at? Can you see all the comments?
No.
Oh, because I have the dashboard, so that I'm like you're like, what am I? I'm your Mary. I'm Mary Magdalene. And you're Jesus. I need a better outfit. Right now I'm like,
Well, that's a motorcycle, right?
I know, cool. Yeah. Well, it's bike week right now in Lacona.
I don't even know I don't know any Lacona.
It's bike week in New Hampshire right now.
So
what is y'all's opinion on microdosing psilocybin? He's like, do it every day.
So the one thing I would say is, what is your opinion on microdosing psilocybin? Just that's it. There's no other context.
No. What's your opinion?
Well, you have to do it with a protocol, and then also if you're
what's your protocol? You have some?
Well, yeah, the protocol there you can do 3 on, 2 off, 4 on, 3 off. You can do 5 on, 2 off. The thing is, you got to figure out how many days on and off.
Oh, I see. So like
you can't take it every day. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm just going to take it every day. You can't take it every day because you need a reset period. So you need to do it with a protocol, and you do also have to be mindful on, if you're doing a 4 or 5 on schedule, days 3, 4, and 5, you're going to have to up the dose for days 3, 4, and 5.
You need like a protocol written
on
out.
Day 1, you're going to need less than you'll need on day 5. And then also, are you going to bring in any macro doses, or are you just going to do micros?
I don't know what you talking about.
Anyway, the point is just be intentional about it. Have a schedule. This isn't a game. And it is work. You also remember that it's work, because when you're going into a situation on a microdose, let's say you're going to the same office that you've been to for 10 years. You're going into the same office. It's going to be different on a microdose. You're going to notice new things. You're going to have work to do. So, okay, that may be. I bet that he's already noticed that if she's hot at work, if he was there for 10 years. Yeah, no, so just be intentional with it, and also combine it with, you lemon juice or lime juice makes it more potent.
Really? And regenerate too, right? You're
Regenerate would definitely make it more potent. Regenerate is designed to add mushrooms to it.
that's amazing.
It would have everything in it that you could then add psilocybin to promote a good trip.
So when that's a macro dose, right? When people are going to go on a trippy and be like, I saw things move in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh,
You could use it. Well, you would just depend how many grams of psilocybin you use with the Regenerate. You could micro with the Regenerate too.
that's my question. Like micro, I don't even know. I don't know anything about it. I just know
Microdosing is small bits,
in the poo-poo.
is definitely less than a gram of dried mushrooms.
Will I be able
It's
to
not,
work if I microdose?
yes, as long as you have your dosing right. So you'll have to experiment with your dosing
You're like,
before
where you go to
you
work?
go to work. Yeah. And then the other thing, like I was just saying a moment ago, you have to be mindful of on day one, you'll need less psilocybin than you will on day 5 if you're doing a 5 on, 2 off protocol, because you build a tolerance to it, but the tolerance goes away in like 2 to 3 days, and then you're back to square one.
And then you say you wait 3 days or something. What's your
Some people need 3 days, some people need 2 days. That's why you got to figure out the protocol for
so you
you.
go back to weed?
No, no, don't. I mean, I don't know. Look, I don't. You. A lot of people that do psilocybin go to weed, but
Sorry, the hemp plant. Weed. It ain't no weed. Weed's like a
weed is a
non-necessary
plant that
thing.
has no medicinal value. That's what weed is. Cannabis or marijuana, whatever.
Has a
Some
lot of
people combine it. I mean, personally, I don't like to combine it.
with weed and mushrooms. What about beer? No, you're no beer. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be devil's advocate. Hey, look, I'm devil's advocate, and you look like Jesus.
Beer,
Oh,
beer, beer is peasant food. Like bread is peasant food. Like bread and beans are peasant food. These are foods that they convinced the masses of poor to consume because it's cheap to make. It's not good for you. So, you know, look, I mean, I remember when I used to eat bread. Bread is good,
I
but it's
like me some
designed to
bread.
it's designed to be good. It's not designed to be good for you. It's designed to fill your stomach and to quiet your mind, to make you a good debt slave.
Ooh, you trying to get fat? Come on. No, no, you're not eating bread. He's not eating bread. He eats meat and milk, and now I do. I do the same thing you do, and I really meat,
Meat,
milk, eggs, fruit, dates.
meat, milk, fruit.
Dates.
Well, dates are fruit, right?
Oh,
Yeah, dates. But I've been eating dates lately. Um,
I do
milk
it.
and
I
fruit.
eat meat
Yeah,
all the
raw
time.
milk. Yeah, that's it.
Oh my God, you are one of a kind, girl. Dang. Oh, I am one of a kind. Check me out, AngelaShelton.com. You can fall down the rabbit hole. And good luck. Good luck there, buddy.
Hang on tight.
Hang on tight. It's going to be crazy.
Whoa. Simmer down, simmer down.
I like to go fast.
Uh-huh.
I love meat.
What
I love meat. I
one?
love meat in my mouth, especially the fat bits.
Okay then.
Goodbye.
So what else you get? What you want me to start reading headlines?
Well, yes, and also I want to acknowledge our comments because we have a lot
Oh
today.
yeah,
I want to
let's
say,
go with
hey,
the
what's
comments.
up? And Marina, how do you feel about what's happening in the world? Hey, Marina. So,
Which thing is happening?
you
Is there something going on?
know, like the global takeover, just regular things.
Is
La,
it
la, 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 la,
what?
la, la, la.
Something's going on in the world?
Yeah, what do you think's going on?
Which
Is it
thing?
yeah,
There's some.
exactly. What's
Well,
happening?
okay. The bottom line of it all is a divide and conquer. The old divide and conquer thing. They want everybody arguing with everybody so that nobody looks at the people that actually have the power. The
You
people that
say
have
it
the
like you
power,
mean it,
the
nah.
the people that have the power have had it for a long time. You can go back to some of their older quotes where they're like, I care not who governs a land as long as I control their monetary supply. So look directly at the bankers, look directly at the bankers, um, that beat is in my head. About
Sorry,
to
sorry.
spit hot fire. The if everyone was educated on the Fed, then people would have been fed up in 1913 when they created the Fed. The Fed is what makes everybody poor. The Fed is what makes it where the people that cheat and lie are able to get ahead and the people that are legitimate can't, because there's a constant devaluation of the money supply. And then when they want to collapse the system, which they do whenever they feel like it, or whenever the population starts to get too awake to know what's going on,
They'll
then
pull the plug on you.
they squish us all with monetary policy that harms us all, that puts us all into fear.
And chemtrails too.
Right. I mean, so, when they took over the world in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It was a period where they took over the world, but it's between 1871 and 1920. Then people figured out, hey, life kind of sucks. And then they smashed everything with the Great Depression, you know, and then all the world wars. And this is all the bankers just literally destroying people.
For fun?
No,
For what?
for control.
When you say bankers, do you mean like you're tracing it all the way back to like the path that goes to Khazarian Jews and the whole thing?
Well, I don't call
That's
them
like the
Khazarian Jews. I call them just simply the Khazars or the
that's it.
Khazarians, because they're not Jewish.
Right, right, right.
They're
They're
not
not real.
Jewish.
That's like fake.
No, they're not Jewish at all. They're Khazarians. They have no allegiance to any
The
religious
God.
things. I mean, they may read those texts to understand them, but it would be like if the Pope became the Pope and then didn't care anything about people and just wanted to be Pope for the power. They don't care about the religion. They just wield religion for power. The Khazarians' original homeland is modern day Ukraine.
Dun, 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 dun. Let's okay. Two things. One, back to psilocybin mushrooms because
Hmm.
Mr. Bear has a comment. But he
All
also
right,
says,
Jacob.
he says, on a serious note, how do I start and how do I decide if it's the right thing for me? Back to the psilocybin.
Well, how you would start is you would have to have a source for them, and hopefully a consistent source, and then you would grind them up, because each individual mushroom can vary just like any plant. You can have a sweeter orange versus a less sweet orange. Same thing with those. So grind them all up, and then you have to be scientific about it. You're going to have to get a scale. You're going to have to measure out how much you're taking. Um,
So
you know,
if he's never done anything, never done any drugs,
mhm.
wouldn't you recommend him like getting
Alcohol is a
our
drug.
alcohol? Exactly. Alcohol is a drug, and so is sugar. Anyway,
Hmm.
but
So is
how
bread.
with glyphosate? What would you recommend somebody like new, fresh doing it? Not doing it themselves, right? Aren't there
Oh, well, I
pre-done
thought that's what he was
pills?
asking, is how to do it himself. So that's what I was
Oh
going
no, I
into.
think he's like. Oh
Yeah.
wait, yeah, I think he's like if he wants to start not doing it himself, like I would suggest going to somebody like yourself who has that already made in little pills, right?
I would say to use regenerate would be a good thing to combine with it, with your source of psilocybin. Hmm.
Yeah, but
But to
aren't you
grind it up.
coming out with some? I've had
Oh,
yours. It's amazing.
as soon as it's legal, I'm going to come out with some.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, in other states, it's legal.
Grammar, can you go to theoneinnashville.com? Though you'll find his order pages. Um, It is so good. Like I can't even tell you enough about it. It's expensive, mind you,
See,
but
I know
it's
you
so
say
worth.
expensive,
Well, it's
but
not when people see the number, they get like, whoa. But when you do the math, it's not. It's $2 a serving. I've never
right.
bought wine again, so I actually saved thousands of dollars from that $200.
And it's purposeful because there's 90 servings in there and you really need 3 months of it. And it's not something that you take forever. Now, some
Yeah,
people might need it for 6 months, some people might need it for a year. And then
I did it for 5.
I probably did it for a solid 8 months straight once I got the blend right. And then I took it today, like any
So did
time
I.
that you don't have ease, when you want to.
Do you know when I take it? So I was on a Zoom. We were having technical issues. The printer wouldn't work. The Zoom wouldn't work. The computer, the
Yeah,
phone. And
when
I was like, I'm gonna go take a Regenerate, y'all. Just
yeah,
give me
when
1 second.
frustration gets high, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It'll knock down the frustration. It'll knock down
And
a lot of negative emotions.
actually, you know what, Mr. Bear, before you go off and do psilocybin, I would recommend Regenerate because it's not. It's just GABA. It's his concoction that gets GABA to your brain really fast.
Hmm.
Can you tell us what's in it and why?
So there's a bunch of blood flow boosters in it, because GABA, the main key for why we don't have ease is depletion of GABA in the brain. It's 80% of our neurotransmitters are GABA. They put the brakes on the speed of information flowing from neuron to neuron.
Ooh, you should do meditations. You should do like audio meditations. Like tonight, you're going to only think about your neurons, and I'll get
Neurons.
music. I'll get music behind you. Ooh,
All
okay,
the
go.
528 hertz stuff.
Ooh, yeah,
So
exactly.
when you have feelings of anxiety, when you have feelings of unsettled, when you're
Ooh.
unsettled, meaning like you need something, so you're
Be
like,
Jesus,
you need a beer, you need a little
a
Debbie,
man,
you need a little Debbie snack treat,
Twinkie.
you need yeah, cream filled pastry.
I mean,
When
it's
you are
almost
in a
super
state
younger.
of having this, you can, you know, it's generally because you're out of sync. Basically, your brain is out of sync. The
Yeah,
information flow is going too fast. Your neurotransmitters are not doing their job. So, if 80% of your neurotransmitters are GABA, we have to get GABA in the brain. You read a lot of papers on the internet, it'll say it is impossible to get GABA in the brain.
bullshit.
But it's definitely possible. You need
You
to
made
have
it.
blood flow boosters.
That's in there.
And then there's also Chinese herbs in there. There's a performance enhancing Chinese herb, which is
Yeah,
rhodiola.
yeah. I like
There's
performance enhancers.
ashwagandha and astragalus.
Hey, Wes.
There's a lot of liver boosters because it's designed for people coming off of alcohol. So you need to get your liver boost, your liver healthier.
I
So
drink
there's
a beer and
NAC,
then
milk.
regenerate.
That's not recommended, but hey, it's better to do one beer or two beers and one regenerate than six beers. So,
Exactly.
because I mean, I know I have people that I coach that used to drink a 6 pack every night. They do a regenerate in 2 beers. That's victory. You know how much
It's
less
super.
toxins your
Yeah.
body has to deal with two versus six. Um, and then 2 beers a night
I'll get to you, Wes. I'll
aren't
answer
gonna
your
kill you
question, Wes. Hold
rapidly.
on.
But yeah, so NAC, milk thistle are in there.
Ashwagandha.
Very potent version of vitamin C. I already said ashwagandha, but yeah,
I did.
ascorbyl palmitate, which is vitamin C bonded with a fat. So it has high absorption. Most vitamin C, you're doing those emergencies, all the CVS vitamin Cs.
No,
You're absorbing
nothing.
5% of that. And some of the real synthetic Cs are not even good for you. But so this is vitamin C bonded with the fat. You absorb 80% of it. It's great.
Magnesiums, you got 3 in
Yeah,
there.
3 different magnesiums. Magnesiums cool you off, no doubt.
By the way,
They're
and
involved in every process in the body.
by
And
the
then,
way, just
mhm.
as a price thing, I priced out buying the magnesiums
Mhm.
versus just buying your Regenerate, and you save so much more money. Just FYI,
Yeah, it's
if you get
one person that buys from me. I did a call. I had a call with him, and he was saying, I was like 10 of these ingredients I used to buy,
mm-hmm,
and then I would put it together myself. So
mm-hmm.
he's like, I got everything here. This is
It's
great.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
I want a bottle. I want always a bottle on hand in my Survivor bag,
Yeah.
and also for my own thing.
Well, I think everybody gets to a point where they're in a state of overwhelm and you're breathing but you have to get something done, so it's just great to have always on hand. Or if you have to have extra focus, you have to do something you don't want to do, like fix your
Marriage.
printer, or yes, marriage, I guess. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now hit the drum. That's not it.
That's
Oh, yeah, right.
not the timing.
It doesn't work that. But yeah, so and the last thing is a bunch of B vitamins. Benfotiamine is one of them, which has been proven to regenerate nerves in the body. That's in there in the attempt to repair people's vagus nerves, because GABA does ride the vagus nerve to the brain. There's other B vitamins as well, but benfotiamine is the most interesting one. That
That's
might actually be the most expensive ingredient in it, is the benfotiamine. It's pretty pricey.
and Mr.
Also,
Bear.
benfotiamine is the B vitamin that some notice when you urinate after taking it.
Oh,
That's the
like the smell.
benfotiamine. Yeah, that's benfotiamine.
That like supplementals. It
Yes.
smells like my mama's house in the 70s.
Yeah, the benfotiamine
But that,
is
yeah.
does,
But so
but a lot of B vitamins are not well absorbed. They pass through your urine. That's just B vitamins. That's how
first
they
of
do it.
all, a couple comments. One, what is this?
What is what?
This. What is this? What are we doing here? That's Jesus. That's my friend Sean, who looks like Jesus. I'm Angela Shelton. I'm a filmmaker and a superhero for little kids and men. I'm a super Wonder Woman for men and women. And he helps people get off of benzos, alcohol, and off of PTSD. Totally like ridden me of PTSD. And Mr. Bear, so do you offer
What
something
is
that
this?
is what is that's the question. So we have these conversations that are so great by
Every
ourselves,
Thursday.
by ourselves, and so we just started like turning the camera on because we have these conversations anyway privately.
Mm.
So that's what this is, Wes. And Mr. Bear, so do you offer some is asking, so do you offer something that he can take for daily health and well-being that he can stay clean? Yes, that's Regenerate.
That's what regenerate is. Yeah, it
100%,
removes
yeah.
the need to need something. So if you're constantly craving alcohol, or you're constantly craving people have
Shopping,
shopping. Yeah, I've had.
smoking,
Hmm.
porn.
I,
There's a I I've talked to a lot of people that I've given it to, and
yeah.
it's food, smoking, shopping, and sex addiction is the most
Hmm.
common thing I see that it's
Yeah.
helping because it helps wherever you need help. That's what's so crazy about it.
Well, you can think of it as it removes the need to need something.
Yeah. Well, I actually I took it for 5 months, y'all. I still take it like I took it today, but I took regular like 3 times a day for like 4 or 5 months. And every single time I personally took it, this is not the same for everybody else. Everybody has a different reaction, but I cried
Every time.
almost. Like I had this like
Mm.
I had a lot to cry about. Jesus. I had a lot to cry
Yeah.
about, Jesus. Thanks for
I mean,
making it regenerate.
for sure, I can understand how that could happen. Hmm. But hopefully,
Why? Because
hope
GABA goes to your brain and makes you relax or something. What? And I cry. What is that?
it's the relaxation from the blend, um, because most trauma is stored in your body's tissues. So if you're in a state of alert and you're in a state of tension, then
Mm-hmm.
your emotions just sit in your muscles and inside of you. Because and there's a great book on it. The body keeps the score.
Yeah, it's a great
It's
book.
all in your. It's not stored in your mind. It's well, debatably mind, but it's not stored in the brain. It's stored in the body. So if you're in a state of tension and then you go into a state of relaxation, that whatever stored emotions you have are going to come out. But I think, at least for me, I mean, I can feel like a little wave of that, but it doesn't make me cry. But it is nice to be settled. I'd prefer to be settled and have to deal with some extra emotions than unsettled, where you don't know what to do. You
For
can't sit
real.
still. You can't focus on anything
Right.
because you're just like, I need something. I need something. I need a beer. I need a cigarette. I need some marijuana. I need,
Video games.
yeah, you're just unsettled. Being unsettled is just
Yeah,
useless. It's like the most calm person in the room when the shit hits the proverbial fan is the one that you want the calm to handle whatever life is throwing at you. And
for
yeah,
real.
to get that, you're going to, to get to the only thing that really exists is the present moment. To get to the present moment, you have to feel feelings. Unfortunately, that's the only way to be in it.
Sorry. It's present moment time.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi. Mr. Bear said he needs help in general life, in the feeling of general happiness, and he wants to feel free and enjoy the world he lives in. Well, you should hang out with me, call me, and call Sean. Like, go to his site and do a call with him for your health.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
telling you,
it
it's
was
the best. It's really the best.
it was
Worth it.
amazing.
Worth every dollar.
Like I'm trying to remember who it was, but I was talking to somebody who worked so hard and he was so well read, and he had like everything was pretty close to like what you would deem correct if you read a lot through searching Google, but he was eating a fat that was terrible for him. So it was
What?
like
What kind of fat is terrible
it
for
was
you?
a seed oil. It was an
Oh,
incomplete fat, and he was cooking everything with it, and I was just like, that's it. That's it. And it was just like one thing that needed to be, you know,
shifted.
yeah. So it's
Wow.
amazing, like, yeah. And then another guy that I'm coaching, like, he would be like, well, it's gluten free, it's organic. And I'm like, but you're nibbling on it. It comes in a plastic bag. You're nibbling on mystery things in a plastic bag. So you're assuming that everything in there is what they say. One, two, what preservatives, what nonsense, what the machines that they're making that stuff on. If you're constantly nibbling on something in a plastic bag, it's not it's not good. You got to eat the meats, you got to eat the things that have been recently killed, the fresh fruits.
That's why I love hunters.
Yeah, I mean they
I'm
know
hot for
Pe-
hunters.
people that have had good food no don't want to have bad food anymore. Once you've had
For
good food for a
real.
while, you don't want bad food. You
For
put a
real.
you put a salad in front of a dog and a plate of raw liver in front of a dog, they're going to run past that bowl of salad so fast and race over to that liver and snarf it down and then piss on that bowl of lettuce leaves.
Okay, Grammar has asked this twice. What are your thoughts on kava kava, not gaba gaba, but kava kava?
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of experience with kava kava. I have taken it, and I know there's some new versions of it that are more absorbable, or they have more active ingredient. I really dislike the smell of kava kava. It smells kind of like vomity to me. But I know people that have taken it and love it. I actually want to experiment more with it. It's an anti-anxiety. It's a feel-good thing. I know there's a company called Psychedelic Water that I was really pumped to try their kava kava, and then I got it, and it had like 75 milligrams of caffeine, and I'm like, how am I going to know what the kava's doing? I don't drink caffeine, so I bought like a case of it. I gave it away to people, but yeah, it's an interesting compound. So my thoughts are that I want to try it more,
I'm
especially the
going over to your
newfangled
chat.
stuff, the
I'm gonna put
newfangled versions that are supposed to be higher absorption. I'm interested in trying.
yeah. So here you go.
I've tried straight kava kava. I didn't notice. So they call it like nature's Valium. It's supposed to calm you down.
Right. Well, regenerate is better. Here, I'm going to put this
Oh,
in. I'll put this in the
between,
chat here,
I'll tell
babe.
you this, between
Here you go.
regular pill kava kava that smells like vomit, between that
So
regular
good.
pill and regenerate, it's night and day. Like one is
Hey, Joseph.
such a mild change. You notice it, but it's very mild. Regenerate is like there's no doubt you took something
5,000. Well, so
right.
Mr. Bay, I just put the link in your chat and under you. So click the link for the regenerate because Mr. Bear says he has a high stress job. I assume you're a he.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. You have a high stress
He
job,
did say Mister.
right? What's it? Oh yeah, in the name. You never know these days.
No
It's
gender.
so better. I have a high stress job. I want something I can take that can help in general, good person, and not get mad at stupid employees. And I don't want
Mm,
to drink when I get off, which is what most of them do. And I want the
right.
calm. That's regenerate,
Yeah.
1,000%. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, Bear. This is what I do. Just so you get regenerate, you put
Hmm.
it with any kind, Mister. Hello, Mister. All capitals. You put it in some kind of ginger beer. I personally like Fever Tree. Like if you get anything
Hmm.
Fever Tree, at Fever Tree ginger beer or like a,
Gonna order that right now.
it's so good. And then you put like 2 teaspoons of Regenerate in it with a little splash of a tart cherry or a cranberry or something, and it
Hmm.
gives it like this. It tastes like a sour beer. Like I love sour beers, like funky sour beers. It literally and then I sip it. Like I put that in my sippy cup instead of a beer. And then after your job or before you go to do your job or actually throughout the day, mister, you can sip it and then you keep the calm. You're welcome.
Hmm.
I have a cooking show. I'm going to do
Yeah, the way that
drinks.
Angela actually kind of figured that out, and that's a great way to do it. You know, put it in a big tumbler, sip on it, and try to extend the burn because the longer that burn goes on, the more calm you get.
Yeah,
And then as you get to the desired level of calm, set the tumbler down and don't drink anymore. You're at
it
where you
stays
want to
great.
be.
It
Yeah, yeah,
stays
you're
in the
at where you want to
same
be. Put it in the
frothy bit.
fridge or what, or depending on what you mix with it. But or then as you feel that unease come back, then start drinking it again and bring that ease back. It's it's not like I kind of feel it. It's like I definitely feel it.
Oh no, you feel it,
It's
and you
not.
get tingly and
Yeah, when it kicks
hot
in,
a little
before it
bit.
kicks in, you get a little hot, a little tingly.
It's great to
Hmm.
take before the. Can't say
Hmm.
that online,
Yeah,
but it's amazing if you take it before the bedroom time. It really is. So this is non-alcoholic. No, it's totally non-alcoholic. It's not. It's a powder. It's a supplement.
yeah.
It's
There's no
18
cannabis in it.
ingredients.
Yeah, the all the ingredients are listed on the website. Um,
It's
yeah.
amazing. I highly recommend it. I
Hmm.
think I literally took it today, and you know what? I took it because the anxiety of admin. Oh God, help me now. Like
I
I'm
understand.
I'm so much better than I used to be because used to I would. I'm like you, Mister Bear. I'd be like, rah! Like I would just lose it and just either pull my hair out or cry or spend way too much time trying to figure out admin. When I
Hmm.
take Regenerate, and I was talking to another, my favorite testimonial that came in for you was I take Regenerate whenever I have to fix my printer. I'm like, I
I
understand
know.
you
I get
so
that.
much.
When your printer doesn't work and you just have to have it
You
effing print
you
something.
just
I
take
know.
some Regenerate and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It's like we can all do admin together. Like I
Yeah.
have a bunch of ladies that are working on. I help them with their techno trauma because I've been through it so bad.
Hmm.
And so when I'm sitting and I tell all of them about Regenerate. And so when they're freaking out over like how to make their banners or something for their summits, I'm like, Regenerate.
Yeah.
And so I'm by the way, I haven't even told you this. I have events popping up all around the city, all around the country. I've 10 cities so far that are planning events. And at those events, there will be a
Regenerate
Regenerate
party.
party.
Yeah, those that Regenerate Party. Um, that's pretty cool. I mean,
So hopefully we'll be
it.
ordering case and eat. That's my plan is to order case in
Well,
each
the thing is
city.
when you get a group of people together that are not in their fight or flight nervous system
Drunk.
and not drunk, they're not in their fight or flight. They're in their parasympathetic dominant state. That's when you get into a creative flow. That's when you get into collaborations. That's when, the supernatural, quote unquote, happens, So it's pretty neat.
I took it to my friend Heather, and it was like we had a regenerate party. I have some of that on film. And hers, I was like, "How you feeling?" She's like, "I just feel like I have to take my clothes off
Oh,
and dance."
oh, yeah, that's a lot of blood flow booster right there. She gonna have
She
to
was like,
ease. Well,
"Oh,
don't ease
I
back on
just
the dose for a Saturday, but if it's Tuesday, she
Where
might
do
have
I
had
find the
too much.
city near me? You sign up for my email list. I love AngelaShelton.com. You're welcome.
Yeah,
I love it. You sign up. I'll
yeah,
tell you
that's
everything.
yeah. Yeah, it works well.
Yes. It's great. And then your loot site is down. That's another admin thing. I was like, oh my God.
I know it.
I mean, seriously,
It
we're not
should
going to
be
talk
up
about
soon.
just shush. I'm not going to talk about it. Look, I'm putting here, look, I have a crown. I have a crown now. So,
Her Majesty.
Your Majesty, you want to talk about dating? It's really funny.
You want to? Okay. What? Or should I read some of these headlines?
Both, because Marina said, What do you think about what's happening in the world?"
Okay. Well, yeah, and I said well, I already briefly. Well, I went at it at the highest possible level, which is just to point out that it is the banking system. I mean, it is the
Oh,
the
yeah,
the
that's destroying everything.
GD bankers that are wrecking everything, and it's the old Rothschild banking system.
Why are you blaming all them?
I care not who governs the land if I control the monetary system. And they control the monetary system of the entire world, other than a handful of countries that happen to be promoted as enemy number one. Iran is one that doesn't have Rothschild banking. Libya doesn't have or didn't have Rothschild banking until the Iraq didn't have Rothschild banking. Now it does. So it once you get into the depths of it and realize what it is, it does go back to the bankers. Oh, headlines. Okay. So
Fixing my hair.
here's headlines.
What the hell? My
And then,
hair is better, by the way, also since I started taking Regenerate.
yeah, that makes sense. More blood flow, more vitamins. So, Lily, I don't know. Have you heard of, I don't know how popular this person is, but Lily Coleman. Have you heard of her?
No?
Lily Coleman. I'm sorry.
Lily Coleman. I don't know who that is. Who is it?
And it's some
I will
influencer that's going
pick this
viral
up
right
with
now.
my foot.
Apparently, the Pentagon has revealed that there was a 7-minute encounter with a glowing blue UFO. So that's interesting. Not. That sounds like a psyop to me. That the manifesto from the trans shooter, the Daily Wire has it now.
Oh, there's another
That's
one?
Nashville. No, that's the one that they blocked the manifesto for so many years. The
Oh,
Nashville shooting.
please.
Yeah.
For God's sakes. Why? Because it says, I was eating Post cereal and fluoride toothpaste and taking all my meds and my glyphosate, and I feel fine and I killed everybody. Does it feel that?
Yeah.
Does it say that?
Well, the manifesto essentially, like the cliff notes that I read, essentially was saying that she was totally delusional and very scary person in general, and trans, which was they were trying to hide that it was a trans male, which means she was a woman.
A woman who became a man who then killed everybody?
Hmm.
Oh
Um,
my God.
so
Because
th-
she,
this one was interesting right here.
okay.
This one was interesting.
She's
So
mad. That's what happens when you
Jerome
start.
Powell. Well,
Jerome
that's why she went trans, is because she's been in a state of madness and anger. So then you kill the ego and you
becomes a
go to the
dude.
opposite. It's Jungian psychology. It's animus. It's so clear if you read Carl Jung. So Jerome Powell announced that the White House numbers for job growth were incorrect. So essentially, the bankers are saying what Joe is saying is incorrect. That's a good one. So don't believe those numbers.
Okay.
Everybody knows you don't you don't need anyone to tell you that the economy is not wonderful right now.
I've personally seen a blue orb, Mr. says. He also
So
says, WTF, she needs some regenerate, that trans girl.
well,
Man,
she did. So
she's dead. Did she kill herself? He,
no, I
she,
think the Nashville PD killed her.
him.
She was still trying to blast pieces.
Wow, that is messed up. I've hung out with trans men, born women who became men, and
Hmm.
they, I mean, most of my friends who do that are angry.
Yeah, and then
I mean, they're like a
anger.
little ball of anger.
If people manifest anger or frustration all the time, it's generally because they normally live in shame, guilt,
What a cop out.
and depression. Because anger feels great to people that live in sadness, shame, guilt,
That is
depression.
so true. Say that
So,
again. People would rather.
so it's an emotional scale. So shame, guilt, depression, sadness all feel worse to our organism
Than
than
anger.
rage or anger. So if you're in those states, you're just looking around like a predator. What can I be angry about? What can I be angry about? Oh, there's
Mm.
something. And then you snap on whatever you can be angry about
I could name a
because
few of those.
you're trading your lower level emotion of shame, guilt, sadness, depression, whatever. There's like 8 emotions that are lower than anger, and really part of the propaganda is to push people into those lower emotions. So when they want to have a population get angry, they can get it like that because
Oh,
anyone will
seen it.
trade the other lower emotions for anger.
Hmm. Have examples.
So you're not going to believe this, but
Nuh-uh.
Germany, France, and Sweden are very pro mass deportations, according to a poll.
Germany, what? Germany and Sweden.
Germany, France, and Sweden, polling is showing that they're pro mass deportations.
Somebody says this guy has no idea what is he talking about.
Maybe, but which thing? We covered like 500 topics, so
Exactly.
I'm
What are you
happy
trying
to tell you the ones that I'm more well versed in versus the other ones that I'm not.
to?
There's 28 cases that the Supreme Court is going to rule on in the next 3 weeks. So the next 3 weeks are big for America.
People are crazy.
Yeah. Um,
Well, the ones that I get, just a side note, the attackers, because I have
mhm,
quite a few examples of that, and I
mhm,
call I call them victim addicts. Personally, you've heard me say that before.
yeah.
Victim addicts, the ones that were they went through something, but they never really, really, truly got over it, and they're protecting and promoting their own perpetrator
Hmm.
or a series of perpetrators, or the perpetrator, pharma and the whole allopathic thing. They're like
Well,
adamantly
look.
protected.
Hey,
Like, absolutely protected.
if there's no big pharma, then that means you're responsible for yourself. Being responsible for yourself is scary, because if you don't follow through with what you say, if you don't tell yourself the truth, if you lie to yourself, and now the onus is on you to rely on yourself after you've lied to yourself for so many years, and you've been an unreliable person for yourself and others, and now you're like, hey, you're responsible for your health. You're like,
And
no, no, no,
everything.
no, no. I'd rather just believe in, whatever they tell me to do because that's scary. Well, that's the reality. That is the
Hmm.
reality. Don't be surprised that a big corporation's main goal is to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And they make money when you're sick, not when you're well. Because if you're well, you don't go see them.
My friend, I had this guy. I'm now friends with him because we're never gonna. I was like, I love you, Doctor Nathan Bryan, Nathan Bryan. He's
Brian Nathan.
Nathan. I have him on my list, and if you go to iloveangelashelton.com, I send you down a rabbit hole of emails, and he's in one of them where I interviewed. He's a doctor, and now he makes more money. The way he makes money is going around teaching events and speaking because he doesn't make as much money with his patients because he gets them better.
Right.
Because he's like, you don't need this, 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 and this. You need
Right.
nitric acid. You need to put salt in your water. You need to get off fluoride. Like
Yeah,
that's
nitric
like,
oxide is huge. One of the things
yeah.
that I always tell people is to close your mouth hole. Don't if you're not speaking or eating, keep your mouth hole closed because you build nitric oxide by nasal breathing. By mouth breathing, you won't build nitric oxide, so you won't be well. And then people say, "Well, I can't breathe through my nose." Well, you have to start. So if your nose is restricted, then you have to rip it in,
Mhm.
make that nose work. Because
You
if
get nitric oxide. Well, he
the
developed
that's
a thing that you can a little not lozenge. I'm gonna send you
yeah,
some. They're amazing. Where you suck on it and it gets the nitric oxide.
yeah, there's nitric oxide builders and regenerate too.
Amazing. Can I tell you something funny about mouth breather?
Sure.
You know, P Diddy.
Yeah,
Okay, can you picture him?
yeah.
Picture him in your head.
I'd rather not, but
He's
okay.
a mouth breather. He's a mouth breather, and he looks just like a black Adam Sandler. And
Hmm.
now it'll never be out of your face, never be
That's
out of your head.
that's that's why his head looks so weird, probably because he's a
He
mouth
looks
breather.
like a black Adam Sandler. He's always mouth breathing. I'm telling you. Now, when you look at P Diddy, you're never gonna unsee that. You're welcome. Anyway, carry on.
That's the problem with the world is damn mouth breathers. So from Trump to House Republicans. Okay, this is in a closed door meeting. He says, I'm not reading this for any other reason other than it's just funny. Nancy Pelosi's this is Trump saying this. I'm gonna do my best Trump voice. All right, here we go. Nancy Pelosi's daughter is a wacko. Her daughter told me if things were different, Nancy and I would be perfect together. There's an age difference though. I don't know what this means. But this is what he that was the end of the quote. Hold on. I don't know what this
What did I just experience?
right.
Can you please just keep doing that?
Nancy Pelosi's daughter is a wacko. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, now Doc Mister. He says, "Dang mouth breathing."
So
Don't
House committee subpoenas 15 Biden. This is on Fox News, by the way. So mainstream.
I don't know
House
why you're
committee
watching that.
subpoenas 15 cabinet secretaries to hand over documents on voter mobilization scheme. Anytime something's caused a scheme, and this is from Fox News, I guess, so they're essentially they're saying that Biden has got a scheme concocted up. Oh, I can't wait to see this. This is
What?
just on another note. Logan Paul is
Who's
doing
Logan
a
Paul?
Trump. He's the guy that's gonna fight Mike Tyson. He does a
Oh,
podcast too. Self-made guy, which is he's
he's
interesting
not
because
that stickler guy that's so hot.
I don't
Sorry, I
know who
said it
that
out
is.
loud.
I don't know who that is, but he's anyway. So
Stickler.
he's got an interview with Trump coming out.
Pa! I want to interview Trump.
Yeah, I
Can you
would
see
too.
it?
Uh,
Well, at
let's
least you
see
can stay
here.
awake. Let's see. Go back to the Trump voice, please. I mean, seriously. I mean, really, we just discovered that tonight, Mister. We'll always have that. We'll always have that, Mister. You and I,
What's that?
you and Trump, and our love
Oh,
of it. Can you do it again?
let me. I just gotta. Let me read. Let me find another headline and I'll read it. After the announcement of Tucker's tour with dangerous guests like me, CNN tried to bully Ticketmaster and arenas into canceling him. Not good. Not good.
Make it
For
great again.
speech that hasn't happened yet. So who's the real threat to democracy? Tucker or the Saul Alinsky activists pretending to be journalists who...
Wow, that's a truthful statement. Wow, that's intense.
Yeah,
Oh my god. But see, I have many, many
that
friends,
was
including
Glenn
my
Beck, by the way.
I love that, including my very best friend for years and years and years, who literally stopped talking to me because I have a Trumpy bear and because I said Biden was a pedo.
Well, I mean,
First of all,
it
just because I
certainly
have a Trump,
looks like one. But
I'm like, so you get so upset by something political? I mean,
listen,
to me, it's so dumb. It's
so
so dumb.
right, but some people, many people, are on the tribal level of consciousness. So
They dumb as
if
hell.
if it's not about intelligence, because you can have very high intelligence in one direction but still be in tribal intelligence.
Why
But
are you talking about me?
if you're in tribal level of consciousness, there's many levels of it. In tribal, if somebody attacks your tribe, that's a direct attack on them.
Right.
So you just attacked their tribe. Their tribe wears masks and gets experimental gene therapies. So if you say, "Hey, maybe you should take, your mouth diaper off because it's clear that it's affecting your brain that collects bacteria and yeast and everything nasty and you're sucking it right back in. It's like you're sucking your exhaust in. It's silly. And stop getting experimental gene therapies." And that's you just hit their tribe. So you just triggered them to the max. They're so the number one importance to a tribal conscious person is to still be in the tribe.
Right.
So it's like
They
throwing them out into the ocean on a life raft with no paddle, saying to maybe not do something that's very clearly wrong and that they know inside of themselves is wrong. Anybody who puts on a mask and starts trying to breathe through that, you're like, it's doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's clear. So okay, here's another one. Hochul open to New York mask bans return amid the rise in anti-Semitic protests. So now
what?
they're going to ban masks in New York City.
I don't understand. It's
Yeah.
so like y'all are high. We should go do psilocybin mushrooms, just sit in a tree and watch everything. Good God. Have you seen the meme that Trump's hole in one got to look it up? No, I have not seen that.
So here's this. This is so today. Should I do this in the Trump voice?
Please, please do that.
Today at the DC meeting with Republicans, your greatest leader, Trump, floated, your greatest, some say the best leader of all time, Trump floated the idea of eliminating the income tax and funding the federal government with trade tariffs instead. That would be
Wow.
interesting.
Wow.
That would be very interesting. You want to sell something in America, 40% tax, like everywhere else in the world. Yeah. That
Crazy.
is. Oh, and he says he wants to eliminate taxes on tips. I mean, yeah.
Fair. Makes sense. There'd be a line about it anyways.
Rich New Yorkers start buying bulletproof G-Wagons and helicopters. They know what's up. They've been in their city.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I know people who are getting bulletproof vests and all kinds of shit. I mean, like, wow. That's
Yeah.
scary to think about. I think people are
Yeah.
in denial.
Pentagon wants to feed troops experimental lab-grown meat to reduce CO2 footprint. That's just great.
Bugs. Feed them bugs. They'll be happy. So back onto the anger people that are like so stuck in their tribal and also they're stuck in their trauma. And also, by the way, just FYI for those who knew, I wrote a book about you and all these men that I've been following where I was like you, mister. I was like seeking health. I'm like, I want to look at the men who've got their and I went to the women too, but I ended up focusing on the men because I was going after some like yourself. You got your mind on, your body on, your relationships are good, your business is good, you've engineered your life, you got it together. And then I was like, what in the hell are you putting in your mouth and how are you spending your time? Those are my two
Well,
questions.
thank you. Yeah, I don't know about a significant other, but the rest of it.
Well, I mean, it's because they're all, a little bit nutballer. But
Yeah. This is,
Anyway, the point is, like, I've seen, like, when you are better in your body, mind, spirit, you don't have time to be doing all that shit.
can't be
And the
doing all of that.
you know, and the
Can't be
people
doing all of that.
I know the people that, like, I have one in particular now, like, that spends, just noticing on how much time she spends writing those big long all cap whatever, like, social justice, like, actually like that in text of, like,
Mhm.
you're wrong and you can't say that and you're, she's also, God bless her, I love her to death, but she's like the same person that said, you're not allowed to share your opinion if it hurts my feelings.
One of
And
those.
I'm like, don't come to my comedy show.
Yeah, it's like it's
Don't
her
come.
amygdala is just so overdeveloped that
But
it's just crazy.
including my dear friend who was like, "Oh my God, don't talk to me. You're in QAnon." I'm like, "Not in QAnon. I just like a fucking Trumpy bear," because I thought it was a joke. I bought it. Both, like, not, there's many more than one, but they are ready. I don't mean to be shamey.
I'm ready.
I'm just talking some facts.
Hmm.
Overweight, on a series of more than one med from pharma, and they do not eat meat
Yeah, I mean, how can you eat your pudding if you don't eat your meat?
regularly. And what?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just on, like, vegan, no nutrition diets. They are on meds and they're overweight and they're not. So I'm like,
Or
okay,
or some of them are underweight.
I was like, listen, I hate to be a bitch, but right now I'm talking to people who have got their body, minds, and spirits on. Unless you got that on, like, you need to sit this one out. Sit it out.
Mhm.
Unless you can catch up and be like, get on it. Like, listen, I'm like, I'm doing it too. I'm in my 50s and I'm looking fabulous and feeling fabulous. It's because I'm doing the work.
Mhm.
I could not. I
Well,
could
you
like,
know, after a while though, it doesn't even it's not even work.
it's not even, it's honestly, it's not even work. It is changing behavior.
Yeah, I mean,
It is changing behavior. I mean, even today, I went and had an ice cream with my kid, and in literally, you heard me because we were on the phone. In 10 minutes, I was like,
mm, yeah, you
I
went
mean,
full donkey.
so it's like you know the problem, and it's like the key is changing the behavior, changing the behavior.
Yeah, and then, once in a while, it's fine. You'd be like, I want this ice cream. Although, you know
Yes,
what, I used to love ice cream. Now it tastes gross to me. I can taste the
I
bad
feel
milk.
you. I
I
feel
can taste the bad milk. So I have considered buying. I have too many kitchen gadgets, but I have thought about getting a ice cream gadget just to
you know what
make
I
it with the
want?
raw milk. And you
I
haven't
have.
tried the steak shake yet, right?
I ordered it. It's on the way.
That's you about to.
I took my money from my spicy site and bought myself some powder meat.
It's a protein powder made with
Oh,
beef
amazing.
protein, beef tallow, beef collagen, and beef organs that
Amazing.
tastes like
Amazing.
it tastes like a chocolate milk when you mix it with.
Yeah, I'm in.
Now
I'm
there
into it
is
all. It's called
stevia
steak
in it, which
shake.
is not perfect, and stevia
Okay.
is not good for women that are trying to get pregnant. Um,
Interesting. This was a question
but
today that, remember I said I want to talk about food. So
yeah,
all these women that I'm talking to that I'm helping, like, level up their lives, and they're like dancing with butterflies, and they're like getting all their emotional stuff taken care of.
hmm
Once they, like, in my world, once they open up and, like, the betrayal and the abuse is like not front and center, all of a sudden they're like, oh, my body's not healthy. And now they're starting to have conversations on, like, well, how do I get healthy? So today we were talking about, like,
hmm
the meat. I said, start with salt in your water, Celtic salt. Like, I said, follow, go to your site, follow what you do.
hmm
And then she asked, she's getting off a whole bunch of stuff and sugars, and she wanted to know if stevia was something she should take.
Well, yeah, stevia. The biggest knock on that is that
What's the link to
it
what?
it can make you infertile, not permanently infertile,
Whoa.
but it can affect um, if you're trying to have babies. But if you're not trying to have babies, it seems pretty benign. I would rather have Steak Shake not taste as good as it does if they would not have the stevia in it. But
Oh, here, I'll get the sticker here. It's
that's
like
just it is the
this link.
safest artificial sweetener out today.
I just put it on there for you, mister.
It is the other. I mean, glycine is sweet too. I'd love to see them sweeten it with glycine instead.
You know, your stuff with the sweet stuff, the Demanos, the glycine. I mean,
Hmm.
I use the Demanos now, not a whole, but when I have to, not get when I have to, when I want powdered sugar. So I
Yeah,
took Demanos and I put it on some fresh organic strawberries, not the strawberries
yeah,
that are filled with all.
that's
It
cool.
was delicious.
Glycine works too. Glycine's an amino acid. 30% of collagen is glycine. That's one of the reasons why collagen is so good for you. And glycine is sweet as well.
There's
And that's an
another.
amino acid.
You're so smart. There's another uh, carnivorous shake.
Hmm.
Let me see here.
I looked at a couple other brands that are doing it.
Carnivore Aurelius. You follow them.
Carnivore Aurelius, he does a collagen. He doesn't do his thing that he's selling is a collagen.
Okay.
The steak shake has collagen, tallow, organ meats,
Oh
and
wow.
beef protein.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he does a beef collagen. That hydrolyzed collagen that I had you mixing with the milk before I found the
So
steak
good.
shake, that's what he sells.
Mm. I want to add. I'd rather have the natural sweet or sweetener than a fake sweetener. Oh yeah, don't use fake sweetener, Mister.
Yeah. Yeah, and then as far as the healthiest sugars to eat are honey, berries, and dates. Honeys, berries, dates, maple syrup. But you know, sugar is an addiction because it really hits the dopamine sensors in the brain. Regenerate can help get off of a sugar addiction.
Yeah, Regenerate helps just get off of addictions. Period. Like
Mhm.
whatever they are. I should take them for boys. I'm just kidding. Not ready. Never mind.
Take them for boys.
Take it to get off the addiction of boys.
Oh,
One boy, I was being joking. Okay, look, Demanos. I put this in the link up in your chat so you have it. And then everyone's on who's on my channel is like, well, it's not my channel. I know. Well,
you'll have to send me a link to whatever you're logged into because I could bring it up on my screen.
I'm in
Oh
your
my goodness.
YouTube, and I'm putting the links because that's where Mister is. These are the links.
Hold on, I have
There you are. I don't have my admin person here doing this. Okay.
what is damn I can't see that with all
I'm
these lights
so excited.
with all
Oh,
these
by the
lights
way,
on. I wanna see that.
just for fun, I want to put this link in here just to show off just a teeny bit. You ready? I'm just going to show off.
What are you showing off?
My gifts, my animated gifts are almost seen 5 million times.
Wow.
4.7 million times. Is that fun or what? I'm like, when does that make $1 a time? You can't see any links. Hey, will you look in?
So I don't know if Anthony is still on here, but I'll speak on it real quick because Anthony, I just saw his comment. Sorry if I'm cutting you off.
No, you're okay.
He was asking me what the liquid I sell is and does it have any benefits to combine with Regenerate. So the liquid is Loot. It's a cannabinoid blend made from hemp. It does, I would never say it makes you high. I would say that it makes you sophisticated. It's two different purposes. Regenerate is designed to remove the need to need. Loot is designed to be an alcohol replacement so that you can still have fun with your friends. You're still putting something in your drink. You're still cheersing. You know, it's designed as a cannabinoid modifier so you can mix it with anything. I wouldn't say it has any connection to Regenerate other than both are aids to get off of alcohol. But Loot has a great tons of properties. It's an anti-inflammatory as well. so you can lower your inflammation so you'll feel better.
I love
Pe-
it.
People take different doses from a teaspoon to a tablespoon or to
Seen
multiple shots of it, 2, 3, 4 drinks. You handle it just like you would handle liquor. So a 1 ounce pour is quite strong. So people that are using it for health and wellness, there's 100+ doses in that bottle. If you're using it to have a good time and you do a lot of cannabis, then you'll need more. Um, but it's great that it's a liquid so you can get your dose exactly where you want it. So it's not like, when you're biting an ear off of a gummy bear because you don't want to get too high.
right.
You can figure out that a teaspoon is your dose, and then you have a teaspoon, and it lowers your inflammation, and then you feel better. You don't feel high. You feel great. Then if you want to, have a good time, then you could take 5 teaspoons.
Yeah, the best thing to do is book a call with you and then order it on the phone.
Sure.
That's the best because
Yeah.
I'm like because I'm just looking at all the back end stuff with
Yeah.
and
Uh,
and Mister, can you tell me if you saw the link? Because I'm looking at it. I see the links, but it's got like a little tool next to my name, and it clicks to my channel. So it looks like it's sending you to my channel. Just curious. My channel is Angela Shelton, like
mhm.
YouTube/Angela Shelton. You can see the links
And
there, but
send me
follow
the
him.
send me that link how you look at that stuff in the private chat. I want to see what it looks like, if you would. Um,
This
yeah.
looks
Anything else? You want me to read any more headlines, or
yeah.
where were we at
Well,
before I?
headlines are funny, but also what's going on with you? Like what's going on in the world? Like as far as people that we've seen, dating experiences. That's always fun. That's highly entertaining. I got
Oh
stories.
yeah.
I
You
got
got
so
what?
many. I got so many stories.
Oh.
I got the latest
Um.
one.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy. I had a phone date. Um. With someone that was wild. Um.
A phone date? Is
Yeah.
this a phone date?
No. We're on video, baby. This is a video date. This is a video date. The hell you talking about? This video. This,
Okay, wait,
this
hold on.
video.
Mister said, so at 36, what would you recommend I try to enrich my day to day? I get all
To
the
try to enrich.
enrich your day today. Take
Wait,
with
wait.
no
At
sense.
36, what do I recommend to enrich your day?
Mm-hmm. Enrich your day today. Enrich your day today.
So just for today.
Day to day. My day today.
Hmm.
You should
That's a
take
broad one.
regenerate, dude.
Well, if you have any addictions, take regenerate.
Or see, he's
Um,
got high stress. He's got issues dealing with like anger. Regenerate.
mm, that's the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Regenerate will definitely help. Also, pay attention to minerals.
Mm-hmm. Put Celtic salt in your water.
Eat, yeah, yeah, definitely salt water because you're demineralizing yourself if you're drinking plain water. Just stop drinking plain water. Make it
I had to tell the boys
a
that they don't listen.
non-caffeinated tea, raw dairy milk. I mean, water feels great. I drink it sometimes, but I usually put something in it.
Every single one of the amazing dudes that I interviewed, like yourself, they do not drink water. Every single one of their waters are totally like it's got diatomaceous earth, it's got Celtic salt, it's got trace minerals, it's got
Right.
or freaking whatever.
Yeah, I mean, when we were drinking out of streams, rivers, and lakes, those all have minerals. Or I'm drinking mineral water. I like seltzer water, that's made mineral water, like a Gerolsteiner or Gerolsteiner or
Um,
Mountain Valley. I have the Mountain Valley delivered, so I
I
drink
love the
that.
glass bottle. I have a question. I want your opinion on something, or you're just
Hmm.
your thoughts on because I've told you a
Hmm.
lot about the beta simpy dudes that hit me up like,
Hmm.
and they irritate the hell out of me, and I just can't
Yeah.
stand that. So there are also those dudes who are like, I'm a dom.
Hmm.
I'm a dom and I need you to be my lady and I'm gonna own your moments and you're gonna be like and I just am like, oh yeah, tell me more. Keep
Hmm.
talking. And I'm like, this is interesting, this whole conversation. What does that
S-
look like for you and why and where does that come from?
Okay, and then what happens? So, are you just asking me to comment on that, or
Yeah, of just that side of the men who are like, I'm going to be dominant of the women and they're going to be, I'll pay them. They'll be the guys who have sugar babies
hmm.
and they want to be dominant, not the subs.
Well, it sounds like a bunch of different things that you're asking because you're saying sugar babies and doms. So, which one out of those?
Dominant dudes who feel I mean, it's hot. A man is
Hmm.
essentially dominant. I like a dominant dude personally. I like the
Right.
bull. But when it's
Well,
that like, I'm dominant.
yeah, yeah. It seems like fake, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly it. It's like that you're acting out a character.
yeah, yeah.
I'm dominant.
Yeah, I think if I don't know, I haven't had this happen to me, so I don't have experience with this. But I would imagine that if it felt authentic, that it would be hot to you, and you'd want
Five
some of
thousand
that.
percent.
But I just would
5,000.
imagine that the majority of the time you're going to run into somebody faking it,
Yeah,
because it's just like the majority of people are, until you get real with yourself and you're honest with yourself all the time, then you're not real with everybody else. And, the majority of people can't go more than 15 minutes without telling them or others a
a
lie.
lie. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's just crazy.
So, just when you look at it percentage wise, there's probably very few legitimate men that would be what you're talking about. So, you're saying what's my thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm just curious, like the men that are that going down that path of like cutting out the women intimate relationships and being more like, I'm dominant. I'm going to
Well, I guess if I
pay.
if I were in your shoes, what I would do is I would ask, well, what does that mean to you? Because, and then listen to his answer. Because if he has a well thought out answer, then he's either done it before or he's thought out, what your role in his life would be.
It doesn't, that's the thing. It doesn't matter what my role is. It's just female. You
What
know
do
what
you
I mean?
mean?
Insert female. Like, like these dudes that, and full disclosure, I talk to anybody, by the way, mister. Like, I have like open book men. I really enjoy talking. Obviously, it's not for free,
Sociology.
but I'm studying and I'm fully available to tell me anything. I'm not going to judge you. I'll do comedy about it later.
Hmm.
But I'm open book. And there are dudes who are into the dominant. They've already made a decision of where they put the female. It has nothing to do with like who she is or what she's interested in or what
Hmm.
she's doing in the world. It has to do with female goes here.
Hmm.
Female, like my dominant thing. This is the typical thing. Like I've had a few relationships with um, SB sugar babies, and it worked out for a couple years, and I'm looking for a new one, and I'm
Hmm.
like, wow, that's interesting. Tell me more. What does that look like? Like,
Hmm.
what does that actually look like? You pay like, and
Right.
then what? Like what? How does that work? And you basically just do whatever he wants. And I'm like,
Well, I think that a
okay,
lot of there's going to be a high percentage of men that want to give you just enough for you to survive, but then so they have control over you, so that
right,
they rely on you, but they have control.
right, because you mean because
And
the guys they're like, I don't want you
and
seeing
then
nobody else.
and then I would say the healed version of that would be um, pulling out
Marriage,
the healed version of that, pulling out some of the dom fetish terminology
like
lingo. If you
and
were to
lingo,
remove that,
yeah,
if you were to remove that, I think where was I going with that? So if you pull that out, and it's like, I think somewhere underneath that category is like just a healed masculine. And I think that you would find that probably not in someone that's going to go, that's not going to talk about, I've done this before and this works. It's going to be, this is how it is. Right. Like if you want to get with me, here's, you know,
What you have to do.
what I'm flexible on, what I'm not flexible on, meaning, you know,
Damn.
because the thing is, if you're trying to find a dominant man, a man and is masculine, he has a plan, right? Because he's dominant and he's masculine. So then he would have a plan for the woman. And now that doesn't mean like when it's a caricature of the plan,
That's it.
that's not the same thing, because that's not actually in a healed masculine. That's in a caricature of. So it's an ego shield. It's not an actual thing.
There it is.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. And you know how many men, and I'm just going to tell you some more things about the fellas that, and I do this because I'm like, to have these conversations to get to the healing place. Like, like get, like uncover it and unravel it. And there's a lot of dudes who have been married for years,
Mm-hmm.
plural, and never had sex in like 2 years, 3 years. And I'm like, yo, I would not live in the same. I mean, I keep an app. Like, it's got to be at least once a week, or there's a problem. Like,
I mean,
and for
my
years,
last live-in girlfriend, like before we lived together, we had conversation, and it was like any time that I wanted to have it,
it's available.
yeah. She's like, even to the level of she was asleep. She's like, yeah, whenever.
It's awesome.
And then, but that's the way that it should be, I think, in a lot of, I mean,
It's
obviously,
the
if like,
best. I
obviously
told
I'm not an asshole if she was sick. I wasn't like, shut up, hold still.
right,
It
right,
was, and it was trying to make her feel good,
right.
but there would be times where she would be like, you know, I
Oh,
gotta
it's
go,
amazing if you do.
hurry up. Okay. You know, that's,
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
I was thinking more like, you're doing the dishes and then your hands are tied up and then all of a sudden you get your dress lifted up and I mean,
Right. No, that's what I'm saying
just to
is
do
green
that all
light.
day long.
Basically, it's green light all the time,
Yeah,
basically.
SOD,
If I'm
sex
dating
on
you,
demand.
if I'm dating you and especially a live-in girlfriend,
You're
and
in.
then
Ah!
right, that's like, you know, but the thing is that's not like a fetishized like,
Right. It's just you
caricature
can have
thing.
it.
That's just like, you know, and yeah, or
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, there's certain the point is there's certain things that someone who's in a healed masculine has thought out, and just that have to be checked, or it's not going to work out, right? And there's a plan, I just say there's a difference between the caricature of it and not, or you run the risk of not being with the man who has a plan.
He ain't got no plan.
Right? He doesn't have a plan for you. He doesn't have, or maybe if he doesn't have a plan for you and your role, that means that you have to carve out your role and your plan
It's an interesting way to see it.
for your relationship. And then the thing is, okay, if you want to do that, then you can find a man that
Who has
wants
a
you to,
plan?
that no, who doesn't have a plan for you, and then you get to make your own plan.
He's got a plan with
But if you
himself.
want to, spend, if your goal in life, let's say would were to, not your only goal, but let's just say
Right.
you had a goal to stay in your femininity.
I love it. And cook all day
Well,
and get boned all day.
no,
Where do
it's,
I
I mean, there's
sign?
more to femininity than just those two things.
Listen, I mean, well, okay.
But
I'm just saying, like, there is something missing. I'm like, oh my God, please take all the, like, the
well,
masculine stuff away from me that many of us
right.
ladies have had to do because we didn't have any help.
Well, right, because you got sold the feminist movement sold you a bad deal. Listen, you're just gonna work real fucking
Real
hard and pay
hard.
tons of tax, and we're
Oh
gonna
my God.
treat you exactly like a man. All right, but instead of having a man and a family,
Stop.
you're gonna have a boss.
Yeah.
and the boss isn't going to give a shit about you like the man of your family may. You know
Or
what I'm
not,
saying?
or not.
Well, yeah, or not, but if you choose well, that, so yeah, that's super stressful.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
you got to pick what you want, but I would think
I
that no
love.
one no one would want a caricature of Dom. That
Fuck
just
no.
seems to
Oh
me
my God. God, no.
like you would just feel I would guess you would just feel the bullshit.
I don't know what my problem. Well, I do know what my problem is. I go out with a lot of. I am available to talk to men. Period. I love it. I'm like it's a calling for me. It's also comedy for me. It's also like
I can understand it. It's
I
fun.
really actually love men and I love hearing their stories. But then most of them think that they're actually going to date me personally, and I'm like, I'm like, we'll get to it. Because I'm not really fake. Bear says because the. Are you saying that the people are coming off fake? I think.
Me?
No, Bear commented
Oh,
fake. That's funny. I have a movie called Fake that I wrote. Uh, the issue is you ask for that, then you don't want it when you have it.
ask for
Talking
what?
about me? I think he's saying like ask for dominant stuff. I don't know.
Oh, well, yeah, because
I'm just sharing, talking about men.
I think I know what he's saying, because a woman will say that they want a dominant man, that they want to be in their femininity, and then when the man attempts to do that, the woman,
That's,
yeah, becomes very, and
yeah,
the thing is that a woman is always going to test you. You have to be the mountain that their emotional waves crash into.
that's hot.
And if you are a reactive person, if you're reactive at work, you're going to be reactive at home. And when she goes, that's a test for you to be like,
Oh
that's a test of you, probably unconscious from most of the women. Some
yeah,
women consciously, but most of the women it's unconscious. That's a
yeah.
test of, do I have a good man? How is he going to react when I do this? How is he going to react when I do that? But now there is a line where they're over testing you, and then you got to
Not
kick
good.
them. You got to get rid of those, because, but women are more emotional. There's cycles, so there are different points of the month they're going to be more emotional, and you have to be the mountain that those emotional waves crash into. You have to have an attitude of, "That's funny, baby. Come over here, sit on my lap. Stop that." You know what I mean? Or like you got to take it.
Playful. It's
Yeah.
like
Try to make it playful, as
it's so
opposed
true.
to
You're so right.
like, flying off the handle.
You can
Uh,
get so far with kissing and compliments. You really can.
mhm.
I mean that. There you go. Even
Yeah,
my evil,
but
my
they
not
will
evil.
test you. They will
Even
test
my
you.
sister who hates men, like she's the opposite of me. She loathes men. She
Hmm.
even says she's like, if you do just compliments, like good job, like just because she works her ass off, it can
Hmm.
get you so far.
Hmm.
And for me, kissing, but like she wouldn't want that. She'd be like, get the hell away from me. I don't
The other one is that you have to let women emote,
and
um,
talk.
and you have to let beta guys emote. If you have a
I
friend
hate
that's
beta
a beta
guys.
guys, you have to
God
let them
dang.
emote.
Oh,
And then
ugh.
after you let them emote, you got to say, okay, now do you want help solving the problem, or did you just want to emote?
That's when you say, get out.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I just lecture those beta boys, but I love the super dominant ones too. I've lately been talking to a few, like I've talked to a few like really, really dominant, and it's fake dominant. You said it. It's like
Mhm.
it's not real. It's not, it's like, I can almost see it that you're mad at your mama and you have
Mhm.
some old trauma with your mama, and
Mhm.
you're going to be like, "Bruh, I'm going to be dominant, to
Yeah. Well,
battle
because
your mama who
because
beat you." It's like,
humans now are developing
okay.
an authenticity sense. It's because when we used to consume media where people would only talk like this, and in news today, it was like there was a way for people to communicate without being authentic. Now people are watching 3-hour podcasts, And you can sniff out the people that are on those podcasts that are not being authentic. You can see it on their face. You can see it in their mannerisms. You can see it's just people are developing. So obviously people have varying levels of authenticity detection. But once you get that authenticity detection and somebody's doing that saying, "Meh," and you're like, okay,
My
sure.
mama beat me when I was little, and I'm gonna
Right.
be mean to all the women until
Right.
I'm gonna. I mean, it's like textbook. I was like, I can almost turn to page 14. I was like, so when you were
Yeah.
14, I mean, it's like
Right.
it's like textbook.
Yeah.
But Mister says, how do you deal with a woman who doesn't want you emotional but wants you for everything else?
Who doesn't want you emotional?
But wants you for everything else.
What does that mean? Like doesn't want you
To be emotional or doesn't want you soft?
well, I mean, are you talking about never to show any weakness? Yeah, women may say that they want a guy that will show them weakness, and get cry with them, but they don't.
Okay,
They'll
hold
lose
on.
respect. They'll lose respect for you if you do that.
Hold
Now, if you
on.
hold on, if you do that once a year, twice a year,
You'll
okay,
have me love forever.
you're not going to lose respect. But if you're doing it every week, if you're doing
Oh
it
yeah,
multiple
that's
times
like
per
Simpy
month,
Wimpy.
no, they don't. They'll lose respect for you, especially if you're coming to them with things that they can handle with ease. They're going to lose respect for you. But I don't think that's exactly what he's asking. But
Hey y'all, Skywalker. Hey. So, well, I want to throw in that what you just said. I madly love somebody, and he lost it with me and had a total like boo-hoo snot down his face, like cry, like he had a like
yeah,
cry with me, and I held him and like went through a whole catharsis with him. And
hmm,
actually, it made me love him.
yeah.
Like,
Well, right. But if you
love
did that
him.
once a month,
That's true. I'd be like, you need to get your shit together.
right?
But I love the emotional like safety that he felt, and I think that he thought that we were done. Like he thought that if I saw that, that I'm not gonna have any respect for it. And it was the opposite. I'm like, no,
Right, and well, and probably if he did that with a woman that was not healed, and
yeah, she would have bailed.
maybe not on one, but like maybe not on one. I don't know. Every woman's different, but yeah, I'm sure he has. I mean, like I just didn't like he had like an
Here it
ugly
comes.
an ugly cry, and I was just like, I don't want to deal with that. So I was like, well, you just go over there, I'll go over here, and then like we'll never talk again.
I'm like not even into you anymore.
Yeah, it's
So
like I saw
Mister,
him
this
cry,
is
and he
it.
had like an ugly cry. So I was
You
like,
get
no more.
you get Trump and you get Guadalthrop. What is it? Guadalthrop. I
Waddle
love it so
fry.
much. Guadalfry. So anyway, like,
Yeah,
oh my
it's right.
god, I
It's
was
like
just like, I really haven't. I was talking to a friend of mine who his girlfriend is a vegan. God bless him. I'm so sorry.
sorry to
And
hear
he,
that.
it's so sorry. And he asks me a couple things, and I was like, wait a second, she's a vegan? I was like, dude, she's not like right in her head. She's
You
not
gotta
right in
leave.
her head.
You gotta get
You
rid of it.
gotta leave. No, just get her that shake.
Get her the
Get her that
shake, or get her
organ
some
shake. Get her
liver
some
tabs.
liver.
To get her to like
Glenn. Hey, Glenn.
sneak some meat in her.
That's too bad when you have to sneak it in.
Yeah,
Can't feel it.
that would be sorry.
Oh my god. I
Uh,
just snuck that in. I'm meaning she wants me for stability financially and as a friend, but not as a lover. Oh.
mm, hmm.
Oh. Whoa.
So
Whoa.
yeah, okay,
Whoa. Whoa.
okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
So she really
Whoa.
likes your money, or she really likes you but doesn't have a sexual attraction to you. So then I recommend bailing on that one. But if you can't bail on that one, which I can understand, she could be, really rev your engine. Um, you need to do something. Um,
It's advice from Jesus.
you need to do something to change her mind.
Can you do
And
it? Can you
is
say
this the
that in
same
Guam?
guy? Is this the same guy that
This is Mister. Yeah.
has okay. So yeah, you got like if a woman will all women will test you, and if they've determined that you are a little bit unstable, meaning can't use you as a mountain for their emotional waves to crash into, if they've determined that they can't do that, that can be a bad thing. Um,
That could be a bad, bad thing.
right. So
You're like,
you
get the
know,
fuck out of here.
right. Yeah, the only thing I would suggest is
Leave.
work. Well, if you can't get rid of her, like if you've already done whatever, where or you're stuck on her, try to do things um, to bring out your masculinity and
Chop wood.
to get your stress hormones lower. Um,
Saw.
if you are having problems
Off.
keeping your anger under control at work, that you need to get
Regenerate.
that under control first. If you can get that under control, where you can be in the seat of your consciousness more often, then you'll probably become more attractive to her. And if you're in the seat of consciousness and you're eating healthier, you're doing healthier things, and you know that'll make you. I mean, I don't know if it's a looks problem or not, but doing those things will make you look better as well. That's just a side product of doing those things.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Mister says, I've held on for 15 years.
Mm. And
Oh, oh,
yeah, I would. I
and
mean,
doesn't want to
and not
waste.
even and no
No,
and
no pinky in the winky.
no.
No pinky.
Wait, that's the wrong way. I'll do it. No, no,
No,
no.
she's just taking your money for 15
She's
years,
just taking it.
dude.
Well, so now the thing is
Dude,
now the advice, like if you can't get rid of this girl, I don't know what health condition you're in, but
run.
that's a tough one because here's the thing is that the feminine can be very manipulative.
Oh, fuck
So
yeah.
very,
I'll be
very
back.
manipulative,
Thanks,
and the
man.
dark side of femininity, just like the dark side of masculinity, can be
True.
potent. So um, I would I think after that long, there's not any change that you can make that would make any impact. You're going to have to cut her loose, not cut her, cut her loose,
Yeah, don't cut.
and not literally, figuratively, and then work on yourself, and then show what you're doing to her in a way that basically you don't do it for her, you do it for yourself.
Amen.
And then if you run into her at a later date, you might
Looking hot.
you well, it's not about the looks because
Right.
it's an energy,
It's
and
feeling hot.
because how many women or how many
Ugly.
beautiful women have crazy no, there are beautiful women that are with men that aren't necessarily good
Ugly as
looking.
hell.
Yeah,
God.
but they have that BDE, as y'all say. They have
Oh,
something,
yeah.
and when you're in the presence of those guys that have those girls, it's like, all right, I get it. And then you'll also be in the presence of those guys where you're like, he's rich, that's why.
No, it's
But
because I'm dickmatized.
right, but yeah, but then you'll see you'll run into other people who are like, oh, when they're together, I get it. This makes sense. So you have to cut her loose, focus on yourself, get your nervous system under your control, number one. And then number two, just eat better, do healthier things, spend more time in the sun, get into your
Do that.
parasympathetic dominant state. And then, maybe, you know, go to a line dance where she hangs out 2 years from now and run into her again with that BDE. But there's going to have to be a gap. I don't
Interesting.
think you can go 15 years and then flip that around without her feeling the loss of you. You have to make her feel the loss of you. Then you have to show her the new version of you. And how do you do that without there being a gap?
Okay, hold on. Okay, he says, I'm in shape and very attractive in my own opinion. And yeah, it's maybe 1 or 2 times a year with the doinky doinky poinky. And I'm a buck 175 with a six pack because I don't want to be fat at 40. That's funny. What about the kid? I
What
can't
kid?
run them. Oh, the girl has a kid. He's attached to the kid.
Oh,
Oh shit! And then you're paying her bills and you're boning her 1 or 2 times a year. Boy, let me show you something.
yeah. So a lot of yeah.
How old
That's
is the kid? I'm safe side super check.
yeah. That's one of my buddies. Uh,
I mean, cute,
got
cute running music.
one of my buddies got married to a woman. He really wanted children, and as soon as he got married, then she just stopped having sex with him.
Ah, evil.
Yeah, and then it became like an ordeal to even get any of them. He's like, before we got married, it was like all the time, and then
13.
basically she just wanted to take him for half of his stuff.
Ah, so 13. You've been with her for 15 years. So basically, that's your kid. Is it your kid? Is it your kid?
That would be that would be crazy. So, oh my God, here's your way out.
Is it your
Genetic
kid?
test the kid, and if the kid is not yours, then then you can get hand, because it sounds like this woman is in her dark feminine. If she's because any if you're I don't know if y'all are married, but if y'all are supposed to be together
We
and she's
aren't married. That's a plus.
well, but if y'all are supposed to be together, you have this kid together, and she
It
doesn't
is
want.
his kid. Okay.
Well, are you sure? Did you test? Because a woman that's doing you 2 times a year, that's not attentive to your needs. Like, even if she hates sex, if she values you not going after other sex, she should be more accommodating than 2 times a year, for the love of God. Like, that's
I don't
ridiculous.
even know how to exist without one. I mean, I could.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Right. So so that's dark femininity.
It's his
She's
kid.
messing with you with that little of effort. Now the other thing is too, when women get vegan and get unhealthy, it's like the same thing as men get impotent. You're not gonna want sex as a woman if you're not healthy. If you've been vegan for years, if you're mineral deficient, if you're not getting enough sunlight, if you don't feel good about yourself, you're not gonna want sex. So, that'd be another angle to take with her. But I mean, I would.
Are you living together? Like, are you living together and you have a kid together, or do you live separately?
Hmm.
Because if you're living together with, oh God, no, I mean, I just,
I've heard of guys that had to deal with that, and I'm like, I
whew,
mean, my last live-in ex, there was other matters involved, but
live in the same home.
the only time she ever turned me down, that was the last time that I saw her. That's true, but there was other matters involved.
Oh
There was other matters
shit.
involved.
Oh shit.
Well,
Oh
okay,
shit.
I'll
Oh
give you
shit.
backstory. I was going on a multi-week, maybe a month-long trip. And I was like, really? You're gonna do that to me right before we're gonna be separate for at least 2 weeks, maybe a month.
No, that's you getting boned in the car on the way to the airport.
That's
You get,
exactly right. So
yeah.
that was a major. I was like, really? Okay. We're having some troubles on some matters. We're having some arguments, and then you're gonna do that. And then I broke it off with her.
Wow. Well, there's your line. You're dominant, dude. There's your line.
What? Oh
Like,
yeah,
there's your
apparently
like
so.
line, right?
Apparently so.
It's tough. It's a lot of my issues. I'm all bunched up and can't get it off because I find her extremely attractive.
Hmm. Well,
You're all bunched up, so like, because you're extremely attracted to her, but you're not getting any sex. You need to take some regenerate.
well, no, the thing is, I mean, I can understand that energy where he's coming from. But if you're not, it's like you could be with an extremely beautiful woman, and if she's not good in bed, why would you want to be with her?
No
You're an
fun.
extremely beautiful woman, and you don't have any sex. What's the point? It's like having a sports car in your garage.
You never drive it.
What do you want to just show your sports car to your buddies, or do you want to drive it? Because the driving
Escape.
the driving part is fun. Now,
Yeah,
some
it is.
dudes do get off on showing off their sports car, and they're afraid to drive it.
Nah.
That's another problem, you know. And
He's
then
into
also
cars, by the way. This
also
guy's super
after
into
it's
cars.
after it's been 15 years of no's like that, she just thinks she's the boss. So that's why I just don't see any way out of it without a gap. I think
To move out. You can move out.
yeah, that would get yourself a little stabbing cabin. Go get a little apartment
A
and you're
stabbing cabin.
it's lame.
I have a stabbing cabin.
So no,
I'm
so
gonna
this
call it a
there's an
stabbing
idea for
cabin
this
now.
guy. Get yourself a little cheap studio apartment in the city that you live near, and then you say, if you're not gonna do it, I'm going out. I got another place.
I mean,
I'll still be here for the kids.
he's not wrong, mister.
5 days a week I'll be here for the kids. Um, but I'm not gonna live this life. It's
Yeah,
just isn't
also,
right.
by the way, before you bail, don't you think you actually have
I'm
a
not telling him to
conversation?
bail.
Yeah, you did.
Well, no,
You
no, I'm
said
not telling him to bail. I said I'll be here 5 days a week, but I'm gonna have my, apartment.
sleepy time. Yeah,
Yeah,
because then you could start like removing. But do you think that you have a conversation and like lay it all out at least once? Really just like lay it out.
I'm just imagining after 15 years of hearing this many no's. I would almost guarantee that this woman's a narcissist, and that she's using, dark female manipulation on him,
Yikes.
and probably totally sees and can see right into how his eyes light up when he looks at her, and she's just like, I got this dude in my pocket. And the thing is, if you're in the pocket and you want to make a change, like if okay, like let's say, you negotiate sex once a month.
Negotiate?
Well, that's where he's at. He has
Jesus
no hand.
Christ.
He has no hand. If
He ain't getting a hand. He ain't
Right,
getting
so
no hand, Joe.
the only way that you can reclaim, you know, where you can reclaim your a rightful place in this relationship would be to have a gap after 15 years. Like if you want to say after a year, after 2 years, but after 15 years, you have a track record of
You
her
ain't
getting her way for 15 years.
rip off that band-aid. I've
Yeah.
been completely faithful and would never jeopardize the kid and his emotional status at 13. I get played like a fiddle. You are exactly correct. It's scary shit, boy. You need your own
Now,
apartment.
now here's the other thing too you could do. You could get your stabbing cabin and not use it for stabbing cabin purposes. Just use it to make her
Meditate.
think about what she's doing. But I would also get a book on narcissism. I would read about narcissistic traits, and I would start flipping around everything that she's doing to you. Narcissists are absolute monsters to deal with if that's the case. And just the limited things you've mentioned to me put off a lot of flags for a narcissistic woman. And if you read the
Oh,
if you read those books, or just start educating yourself about narcissism, you don't want
actually,
to allow them to use you as their feeling source. They want to use you as a feeling source. When they feel bad, they want to make you feel bad. When they feel good, they expect you to be right there feeling good with them. They aren't capable of having their own emotions. They need you to feed them emotions. So you gotta, I don't know, I think you need a gap.
he needs a friend. He literally
Be
says,
faithful to her, but go ahead.
he
But
says,
get your
go ahead.
stabbing cabin.
I love you right. He says, at this point, I'm over the sex part. I want a friend and a lover that want to be with me for me.
You said
Doesn't
you're
sound.
over the sex, but you said you want a lover.
He wants a friend and a lover that want to be with me. So basically, he wants his girlfriend that he doesn't have.
Yeah, well, that's the
He said,
thing.
"God dang, you are reading my biography, dude. You're with a narcissist." Sounds
Yeah.
like.
So, I mean, the thing is, you have to be very when you are a narcissist supply and you cut their emotional supply off, they're like a fish out of water, smacking and slapping around. They go cuckoo. So I would get
Do it
yourself,
gently.
yeah, get yourself a little apartment. Don't tell her where it is. Be like, I'm not leaving. I need some space away from you. That's why I'm not coming home tonight. And then make it another night, then tell her the next night it's the next night, and then show back up like everything's, because you have a kid involved. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. So then show back up on Monday morning and play the exact same role that you play. And then come
Go home.
Friday, come Friday, or whatever the schedule is related to the kid. Maybe you can only leave Wednesdays and Thursdays or whatever it is, but just start. And then
Do you let the kid come stay at your place? Or is it just man cave place?
that's a good question. Depends on the relationship, like if
Try
the
to get
kid, if
custody?
the kid at 13 could be in a place where he has already figured out that mama's not right, and then you might be able to get your privacy and not. But the point is, this subtle action after 15 years, I don't know what the action is, all right? I'm just throwing stuff up and seeing what sticks. But the point is that subtle action, if subtle action worked, it would have worked 14 years ago. Subtle action doesn't work, so you need to do some kind of big action. You need to figure that out. I'm just throwing stuff out there. But just know that when a narcissist loses their supply, they can get very ornery because they want to put you back in their pocket. They like you in their pocket. They like the
Yikes.
feeling of control. That's what they're about.
Yeah,
And watch out if she triangulates your friends and her friends against you,
oh yeah.
because that's when you
Narcissist.
stop acting the way that they want you to, you get out of pocket. They'll use your friends and their friends. So don't leave anything around that they can perhaps flip around and to use friends against you, because that's one on one
Oh,
narcissist.
he says his kid knows the truth of things. He just wonders why he's still here. And he says, like, basically, Dad, what the fuck? Come on.
It's almost like a caricature of a narcissist relationship right here.
Yeah, it sounds like he
Somebody
goes, oh
testing
no,
me to make sure I give good advice on this
I,
stuff.
I no longer have friends. You're right. You're spot on. You're like
Yeah, yeah,
intuitive or something.
because she's gotten rid of all of your friends to have more control, to put you deeper into her pocket. So, like in the extreme case of this stuff, I mean, this is when Angela, when I've mentioned jokes about people before, where it's like, baby, I don't know, where do you want to go? I don't you where
I hate that shit.
and then the guy has to come up with seven different dinner options before she picks the eighth one. You know what I mean? This is
Hmm.
how this happens. It's the darkest female energy. That's some of the energy you'll run into beta males too. They'll try to wield this feminine energy.
I hate him.
Um,
Is this normal? He says. Actually, shockingly, it's. I wouldn't say it's the total normal, but it's normaler because people are so poisoned.
it's becoming, it used to be very niche from my reading on the topic, and it's becoming more
Well,
normal, but it's not normal.
I,
It's not normal at all.
I would recommend finding a good church.
I mean,
That's me. But I mean, because
you got to vet that church too, because
a
some
100%.
of the churches will just be like, you never leave your wife.
True, true.
You
No,
take
I
your
don't.
gruel.
I don't
And I'm
mean
not
that.
saying to
I
leave.
don't mean that.
I'm saying you got to do something to shake it up. Like get your,
I
you know,
mean,
instead of a stabbing cabin, start doing outdoorsy stuff with your kid. Get a cabin, someplace that she would hate to go. Because narcissist people usually have things that they hate to do. They're usually very restrictive. So cabin someplace cold, or a cabin someplace too hot.
Yeah, where are you, Mister, in the world? Where are you?
Yeah,
And also
whatever.
Slaughter James says too many mechanisms to avoid. Avoid that person, just go away and leave him or her for good. Greetings from Sacramento.
That is the best path. However, there's a child involved, so I was trying to be
Yeah.
more diplomatic.
He says Mister says he's never known anything else because he's what 36 and he's been with
Yeah.
her for so it's like oh.
Yeah. And now he has no friends, so
But
she's
that's why
literally
I
his
said
only source.
church. That's why I say go church hopping. I'm telling you, there's some bigger churches out there. They have great men's groups. They're great. They're like, I can if
I
you tell me where you're at, like,
try
because
to Yeah, that's all great advice. And maybe you can reconnect. Your friends know that she's cuckoo. Some of them, not all of them. But some of your old friends know she's cuckoo, and if you try to reconnect with some of them, that might work too. I would say the early ones, the ones that knew you when you met her.
PA, he's in PA. That's fun. So we go to church. Oh, you go to church together? And I
Um,
was raised to divorce his
yeah, some of these
oh,
narcs, some of these narcs, they put on the most beautiful facade
bullshit.
when anyone else is around, and that they're probably like the model couple at the church.
If you are going to
Because if you're not the model couple at the church, she'll freak out.
oh God, he says yes. Oh, see, I'm calling bullshit. Any woman of true faith and she's not boning her husband. I mean,
Yeah, but narcissism isn't a choice; it's the way that she is. Because if you wouldn't choose to be like that, because it's but
sexual
that
trauma, blah blah. Hey, Gene.
he played a role in building her too, because she was a child, and that's a childish behavior. Being a narcissist, it's not an adult behavior.
I'm not even Catholic. I'm just like, I had one experience with one in 2020, and that guy groomed me for 3 freaking years. He was
Hmm.
after me for 3 years, and finally, like, I bit, and we started seeing each other, and holy shit, every single thing he said was a lie.
Hmm.
No joke. Like literally everything, every single thing. He would tell you he went to a steak restaurant when really he went to a sushi restaurant. Like it was that level. And he had a live-in girlfriend.
Hmm.
He was faking everything. Every single thing was a lie. And then she and I ended up like she sent me messages like, "What are you doing sending my boyfriend something?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And then finally we got on the phone together. And after the like, "Excuse me, what?" We started comparing our phones.
Hmm.
She was sending him a song in the morning. He
Hmm.
was sending it to me, saying "Love you, babe," and he sent me the song that she sent him. So maybe like she and me and her should hang out because we have the same taste in music.
Crazy.
And then he would send her the things that I would send him. It was just all a lie, and then saying horrible things about me. Oh my god. Because she's like, "Why are you going to Angela's studio?" And he's like, "Oh, she's a piece of shit. She's a gross. I just hang out with her because I'm getting this thing done at the studio." Like he was just using me for studio, and he wanted me to write a movie that he could be in.
Yeah, there's lots of people that are very Machiavellian. They're just
Wow,
looking for what they can get out of it,
it's just
and
like,
then maybe he was using that because he thought it would be a good way to stay in your good graces and get free things out of the studio. I mean,
yeah,
who knows?
yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
oh yeah,
it's very childish, right? Like people that are using um, what they use to get a new toy from their parents
like a little
into it into
like that.
adulthood.
Jesus. So I agree. I built. Oh, the Mister says I agree. I built this beast.
Yeah. That's why
I
you just pick something massive, do it, and you can't let her break you because she's going to pull out all of the weapons she has.
including the sexy dress.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But then the thing is, I mean, maybe it's good enough if he gets, 7 days, but not once in a while. I would be like anytime I want
Once a
from
week,
now on.
at
No.
least. That's like bare minimum. Like it should be daily,
No,
in my opinion, but whatever.
because then she could fake it once a week. She had, if you start going after her every day and she really doesn't like you, that'll become impossible for her. And then you'll figure out,
She
you
really
know,
doesn't like you.
she really doesn't like you. And then why would you want to continue to be with someone who really doesn't like you?
For real.
You'd
Because you
you'd be
love their
better off.
ass.
You'd be better, with a heinous looking woman who's wonderful in bed than your doll faced, monster that you have.
I thought for years I was the problem. I would always try and change myself for the betterment of the relationship. Hmm.
Well, yeah, she's gonna make you feel like you're the problem, and then, nobody's perfect. You might have problems, but to have 15-year relationship and have sex 30 times, that's crazy.
I don't know. I personally, sex is medicine. And when you have
Right.
somebody and you're in a relationship, you give each other medicine to
Right.
make each other better.
And if you're not having meditative medicine sex,
Yeah.
you're not
Like,
living. You're not
exactly.
experiencing what it is to be on this plane.
Seriously. I ain't
One
playing
of the
with you.
one of the joys of life. That's
Yeah.
right.
It's so true.
If it's no good, then the relationship is no good.
Hold on. I'm dickmatized.
She's so
Never
dickmatized.
seen one quite that nice.
It's the dickmatization.
It's my dickmatization.
That's what had happened was.
I read that narcissists don't like anyone much, including themselves, and that they are hard to shame. Yeah, because it's all shame. Like at the
They
core of it, it's some shame.
they don't like
Yeah,
they don't tune into their own emotions. They need to feed off of other people's emotion. They're not connected to their emotional core.
5,000%. Thank you for the sound and respectful advice, Mister says. Yeah,
You're
follow him.
welcome.
Watch his videos. I really recommend it, and get Regenerate. That's my recommendation.
Yeah.
And because
And
then
a
you get
stabbing
clear.
cabin.
Regenerate and a stabbing
That's
cat.
all you need. Or just a cabin to hang out with your kid.
I I got my stabbing cabin. I got a stabbing cabin.
The other extreme thing you can do, and don't do this, mister, but would be
Oh
to,
God.
but this, some of my friends, when we go off into the, how do you fix this? How do you fix that? And it's like, well, just put, LSD in the water supply. That would help. Because it's like that,
Yeah, seriously.
what I mean?
Mushrooms. We circle back to the
Just put
microdosing.
LSD in the water supply.
Just like
That'll change your whole perspective on the world.
I was friends with a few who were constantly trying to start fights and trigger everyone. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
narcs.
that's what it's all
People are
about.
people are like, yeah, they create issues, and it goes back to the victim addicts that we talked about earlier, who are like the social justice warriors. Like, god dang, spending so much time on unconnected things, and it sucks that you guys are, you and your lady are like fake churching. That's
Hmm.
like like you just said. That's like the fake churchy couple. And
Hmm.
it's like, damn, I would offer you that there are some really great men's groups out there. I know many. You can hit me up, like, and ask me. If you go to iloveangelashelton.com, I can introduce you to some people.
I
Um,
mean, we got his problem solved. He's gonna get a stabbing cabin. He's gonna have fun with his kid,
and regenerate.
and then he'll get he'll get either a lot of hand back in like a year or two after convulsion spaz outs from her, or
Once you're released from a narcissist, though, you do not want to go back. Once
well,
once you're
but
out of the
hold on. The other
cloud.
thing too is you're not gonna feel good either.
No, because it's like
It
that was
takes
your
years of
drug.
healing. Right, that was your
Was your
drug.
drug.
Yeah, that was
And
your drug.
and it's like, does it take years? Honestly, I mean, there are so many things that's my forte.
Well,
I'm like, we could skyrocket,
Once
jet
once you
engine that.
once you realize how bad people can be and that there's more of them out there, that's something that takes a
You're like,
while to come to grips with.
oh my god, seriously.
Yeah, because then for now, instead of believing in the dream and the fairy tale of, you have to be like, is this person gaslighting me? Is this person that I'm dealing with, is this the real them? Or is this just a great acting narcissist?
I,
Because some of them are great actors.
yeah,
Like, even being aware of it, I've been like, damn, like 2 months into a relationship, damn, this is a narcissist. Are you serious? You know what I mean?
So crazy.
But and then
That is
I'm
so
sure
much.
it's a spectrum too, and Instagram is just generating narcissists. Like
Oh
it's
yeah, that's
boosting
true.
it like crazy. You know, people instead of living in the now, they live in reflection. So
Wait, hold on, hold. Mister says that is just it. Every time I get close with any man or group, I get shamed and made to feel like they are horrible people by her,
by
right?
her, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, because she's the snake, so
Well,
she's
she's wants to keep you in her
don't.
pocket, and
Yeah.
anytime you're trying to get out of pocket, she wants to stuff you deeper into
Yep.
her
Oh
pocket.
my God, like men from work or church or even neighbors, she drives a wedge between.
Yeah. And
That's a
she'll make
narcissist,
up
dude.
stuff. She'll make up stuff or talk badly about
Shit.
you to them too. And then some of them will be like, I don't want to deal with this even though you seem cool, mister.
They'll
But
be engaged with
I don't
her.
want to
Yep.
deal with this crazy lady, so I'm out. So that's why you need a stabbing cabin in a different area where you can meet friends in a different area that she can't ever know about.
Yeah, don't let her know about it. Or
Yeah.
don't know. You could let her know about it, but don't know where it
Or at
is
least now
because
without them knowing, look, my wife, or, she's basically your wife after 15 years. And, she's a little cuckoo, so we just
damn.
don't bring her to the stabbing cabin. I mean,
Even family, she won't even go to my family's for anything. Yeah, you got you're right, Sean. She it's a total narc. Narkity
yeah,
narc.
yeah.
Damn, sorry, buddy.
That's a
That's
bummer.
a
And I
bummer.
tell you, when you're coming out of that, it can be very painful.
Yeah,
So,
I was sad.
yeah, is that the guy that was asking about the microdoses too?
Yes.
Yeah, you're
He
gonna
needs
need
to
that.
regenerate. You're
You're
gonna
gonna
need
need
that.
you're gonna need both of those. It's such a bummer. It
The
is such a bummer.
prescription says this evening's
No,
prescription
I'm
from
sorry. It
Jesus
is
says
such a bummer though coming out of that. I
mushrooms.
can't imagine being in that for 15 years. How
Uh,
small my spirit would be after 15 years of that.
that's why I
Because
say go to
your
church. Go
spirit
to a
has been beaten
new church.
down for 15 years.
Uh huh.
So that's a tough one, man. I'm sorry.
I'm done. I'm getting a stabbing cabin in the woods.
We
Amen.
solved some problems today.
Amen. Yay!
Perfect.
Somebody's
Problem
gonna get
solved.
laid. Finally.
It's so good.
Man, it's so sad. Anyway, I feel that was good. We've saved somebody's life today. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Praise Jesus.
Yeah.
Amen.
Maybe two people's because the kid too.
I would recommend you not try it. Yeah, to go, not try going into the devil's den.
Oh no, one time I'm out. Turn me down one time, I'm out.
Oh, turn me down. Oh, that's funny. I think,
One time I'm out. Unless there's a good
wow,
reason I'm out.
damn. You're like, it's like Aunt Rosie hasn't left yet. It's like,
What? Who the hell Aunt Rosie?
it's you don't know who
I'm not
Aunt
fooling with
Rosie
any
is?
Aunt Rosie. No, I don't know.
Period. Is Aunt Rosie?
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay. I was thinking of like
Some guys don't.
somebody.
The biggest best sex I ever had in my life. It was a dude who didn't care. He's like, I don't give a damn. And I was like,
I mean,
well, we're
if it's your wife or your like live-in girlfriend,
damn. You know what he
that's
said? He's like finger painting. And I was like, I'm in love with you.
that's funny.
So yeah. So
That's
you never
funny.
know what you're gonna
No, if it's your
find on
live-in girlfriend
Facebook.
or wife, you shouldn't be afraid of that, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
some
there are
rando
men.
you don't
That's
want
fun.
that.
That is funny. Oh my god. But you know what? There are so many men who are just like anti that. They're like nothing, no, not nothing,
I heard that there's
not even
men
shower.
I heard that there's men out there that are like, okay, you go take a shower and then lay down and then I'll eat your pussy. And it's like I just can't think that
Yeah.
that would be hot in any way. There's no spot. There's no. It's like okay, go over there, sterilize yourself, then come back. It's like I don't know. I don't get it.
You like
It,
stinky
se-
cheese?
it just seems like so not hot to have not any. Yeah, like what?
I said I said, do you like stinky cheese?
No,
Like when you eat cheese, do you like really like Stilton and
definitely not.
So usually guys who are like really into eating the things or really into also food. But you eat meat, so you eat, like you're not eating cheese.
Mm-mm.
No, come on. I'm
No.
sorry. She entertains herself. Only
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
Except that one time that I had a brother and sister. I'm the only child. Did you know that I'm the only product of 9 marriages? That's the first line of one of my books. I'm the only product of 9 marriages.
That's a lot.
I know. My mom got married 5, my dad got married 4, and I'm the only baby. Like they married people who had kids, but neither one of them ever.
Hmm.
The only baby out of 9 marriages.
Yeah, but so you had a lot of siblings, but yeah.
I had 2 siblings. I was the oldest, youngest, and only child. I've experienced all of it, and the oldest sucks.
Yeah, you got a lot of work to do.
Sucks.
Yeah.
The youngest is by far the best. I ruled the house. The only child is, I know that well. Solo. Also being solo and like being okay with being solo and dating yourself and being okay to go to a bar by yourself or go to dinner by yourself or the movies is my life. I've always been. I love that.
Yeah.
I love myself. That
Yeah.
amazing how
Mister
people
needs to
can't.
Mister needs to figure that out.
Mister needs to do that. Like
Yeah.
go on a hike by yourself. Go on a like go do stuff by
Hmm.
yourself.
And Regenerate would help to quell the anxiety of doing that
That is true.
if one has anxiety doing such a thing.
This is very true. Okay, my battery's about to die. Does
I
that
know
mean we're
my
done?
my battery, I don't have any.
Your personal
My
battery's
personal
dying?
battery's dying. Um,
We do this every Thursday, y'all.
yeah,
We've
Truth
stayed
Thursdays. Did we
we've
speak
stayed
enough truth? Is there
consistent.
any
Truth. We
more
saved
truth?
Mister's life.
We did. We did save Mister's life.
Stabbing cabin. We got a stabbing cabin. What rhymes with cabin?
Stabbing.
Stabbing. We're gonna we're gonna stab. We're gonna get is. I could be inappropriate all day long. Keep going.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna stabbing cabin.
But Mister's ripped, so as soon as he gets
Mister
this
is ripped
stabbing
in a
cabin,
stabbing
he's gonna
cabin.
have no problem.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace.
What's that? Is that where that's where you get the cabin, maybe.
That's where you get the cabin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna start like a dating app that's it's like Tinder meets Facebook Marketplace. You can like
I,
buy shit from each. You can
I just saw a tiny home that was 37 grand. Could get one of those on some land. That's your stabbing cabin.
For real.
Hmm.
Even honestly, even a trailer like one like an Airstream or something. Don't even like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You could. That's what I'm looking for.
I'm,
A car that I can like yours.
I'm selling that.
Oh my God, I
I got,
love that thing.
I
Buy
got
his
it.
thing,
I got,
Mister.
I'm just putting a little
What's
touch
it
up,
called?
little spit and polish. The
That thing
final
is
things that I
awesome.
didn't install, my backup camera.
It's
That's really it,
amazing.
just the backup camera. Oh,
He
and
has.
I'm painting fresh dolphins on the back.
I love
Dolphins with
that thing.
freaking laser beams on their
So,
heads.
Mister. Oh, you're. Hey, Dale. So, Mister Sean has a car dealership also in Nashville, and he's a big car guy, and he has a camper that's got the big like bull horns on the front.
It's a
It is
dolphin with an identity crisis. It's a Toyota Dolphin, so it's super reliable. It's a manual transmission though, and he's like 36, so he might never have seen one of those. But but it it gets great. It's like the best fuel mileage RV ever
I
created,
want it. Why are you
and
selling it? Can I have it?
because I'm not using it, I'm just busy all the time. I haven't gone anywhere in like 2 years, so I'm looking at this thing that I want to have fun with, and it's just like. Anyway, so I'm putting a backup camera on it and then taking photos and putting it on bringatrailer.com. It is wonderful. The interior is mint, perfect, all fresh, instant
Have
on
good
water
gas
heater.
mileage.
It's like the best fuel mileage RV ever built.
How much are you selling it for? Really
S-
expensive.
So
60 grand, I bet.
no, the most comparable ones are around 30.
And
Yeah.
yours is sweet.
Mine is at mine is at like among the finest because it only has 67,000 miles.
Holy cow. Damn it. Why can't I have everything I ever wanted in life?
And
Oh, wait, I can.
it's Toyota's most reliable powertrain too.
I want the Toyota what is it, F50 or FJ50? FJ40? FJ40. That's what it is. It's like, it looks like a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
Toyota, and it's super
Those have held
expensive.
their value like crazy.
Those are amazing. They're so me. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, that you're like, eh.
I
Why?
mean,
What
no, they're
car?
nice.
No, what would you choose?
Why just I don't know. If cars are like shoes. Where are you going dancing or are you want to
I
what do
want
you
to,
want to do with it?
it's my traveling kitchen. I want my traveling kitchen. I
And
want my bikes in the back.
Toyota
And
Dolphin would do
and
it.
then I'm finally, oh my God, you want to hear something that I didn't tell you yet? And we've
Yeah.
couple, I'm finally going to be the escort I always wanted to be. So I,
Congratulations.
thanks. I've been trying, I'm working to get my CDL license. That's my plan. And I found various avenues to get it, but it's very, very expensive. And
Everybody goes to Florida to get them. It's easy in Florida.
okay. Well, even better, I just found out recently I can be a escort car,
Yeah.
taking the big rigs,
Yeah, yeah.
like the big, and I'm like, oh hell yeah. Angela get a
Mm.
taco truck. I totally get a taco truck. So then I do all these events around the country, and those drivers are dispatched, so like you could like wait for a ride
Yeah.
to
You do it like
Oklahoma or
state
whatever.
by state or maybe a
Mm,
couple states. Yeah, they
love
they
it.
mix it up.
And I've already gone over it with my kid because she's used to me being gone with movies. So it's like gone week on, week off, or 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And they make a ton of money and it drives me to my event.
Yeah, that's wise.
And I love, and it's like how I can, because remember I kept saying, like, how can I get paid to come to Nashville like I do every month? Like, I want to make money doing that trip. And
Hmm.
also then my plan is to have my CDL license so that I can be yours and mine distributor.
Hmm.
It's like a
Dropping
traveling
stuff off.
store. It's like well,
Hmm.
and also I want a traveling loot lounge. Like essentially, like it's a store, it's a lounge,
I
it's
almost
based,
bought a loot lounge. There's a really cool
yeah,
trailer that opens up into a lounge.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm
that could go
talking
to
about,
special events. Yeah.
right? So you
Yeah,
should do
that's
that
why I'm
trip for me.
selling all like my Dolphin and my Pinto and a few other cars is to put some more money into loot. So,
What is that? You should do the hot shots for the government. They make a crazy amount.
hmm.
What is that?
I used to have a hotshot company. I never worked for the government though.
What's a hot shot?
Hotshot is where you use a 1-ton diesel truck to do like urgent loads. So you would pick up, you know,
Abnormal size stuff.
just weird stuff that
Yep.
needs to get there in a hurry.
My
That's
friend
why they call
Andy.
them hot shots.
Oh, because he has a trucking company. That's exactly what he does. Special loads.
Hmm.
And he has made over 1 million with like 3 years in a row having
Yeah,
7 trucks.
yeah, yeah. It's a lot of work though.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of truck maintenance, a
So,
lot of trailer
like,
maintenance, a lot of
hell yeah,
government interaction. I did it for like 5 years. That was enough. I didn't
wow,
drive. I owned the company. I didn't drive. But
gotcha.
if you have, I mean, you got Andy's a better resource than me on that.
Well, the
Uh,
dispatch, yeah, I have. He was the one who's told me to get it CDL through busing through the school bus. But the problem is they want you to then be a full time school bus driver, and that's not what I'm after. Uh,
some of the drivers that we hired that could drive but didn't have a CDL, they went to Florida. It was cheap. They have like a bunch of schools out there. There's
I'm
something
doing it.
cheaper about Florida to get
Well,
cheaper or maybe easier. Maybe it wasn't cheaper. Maybe it was
easier.
just easiest was
Yeah,
Florida.
I love it. I love driving. I want to drive more. So I'm like, this is something that I've
Mm.
discovered. I didn't even know about it. I was like, oh my
I didn't know
god.
that I'm a closeted trucker inside.
I love truckers. I have an abnormal sexual appreciation for plow trucks, like a real, like, actual thing. I should have a
That's
show
that's
just talking about,
interesting.
oh my god, plow trucks. Oh my god. It's like plow
That's
trucks and
interesting.
motocross bikes are very like, plow trucks are gonna win. But I love it. I could look at trucks all day. I'm gonna do like a
Roll call.
oh yeah, oh
Roll
yeah, you're
call.
a big boy coming in here.
I'll roll some coal for you, Mama.
You looking
Come
mighty
sit on my
fine.
lap.
The only thing I don't like about spring is all you boys tuck back in. The plow trucks to go away.
Got it.
And I like it when the first snow happens because they come out, peeping out. I see the tip.
Yeah.
Here it comes. I love it. I love plow trucks. Oh my God.
That's pretty
So
weird, but
it's
whatever
weird. Some
floats your
people
boat.
like cranes.
Hmm.
I came out the other day. I was like, y'all, I'm going to be honest. I really like plow trucks.
Maybe it's a phase.
I know the guy that I personally like my favorite in the world. He's a mechanic, and he said to me once, he's like, you know what, you're so funny. He's like, you've inspired me. I'm gonna buy a plow truck. I was like, I'm already obsessed with that guy. So if he had a plow truck too, oh
That'd be
God,
next level.
oh, I just can't. All
All right.
right, on that note,
On the
let's plow this. We're gonna plow the stabbing cabin.
We're gonna get a stabbing cabin and
We're
have
gonna
some
get
fun
a
tonight. We're gonna
stabbing
get
cabin.
everybody get a stabbing. No,
We're gonna get
everybody
a
have some
stabbing
fun in the
cabin.
stabbing cabin. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have real good times in the stabbing cabin. I don't know if I hung up on her or not. Maybe I did, but she's back. I don't know. Something happened. But we're gonna have fun in the stabbing cabin. I believe in you. Well, maybe not me, but you're gonna have fun in the stabbing cabin. And Angela ran out of batteries, so it was a pleasure talking to y'all every Thursday, 7 o'clock till whenever we get tired. Usually a couple hours. Check out the one in Nashville.com, AngelaShelton.com, Loot.life for the cannabis cocktail. Don't forget to breathe.